Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the day number 1 of the group stage of the IVA May edition. Pot Spice and the one and only Eli, the only player to reach the first player to reach the Titan rank, I'm guessing, in NAEU. Eli, thank you so much for joining. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good to be here. This is really exciting to have this opportunity to be here in this Southeast Asia tournament. We're really looking forward. I haven't seen a lot of these teams play. This is actually gonna be a newer experience for me. A lot of the time, we're able to watch these China region teams play, these Japan region teams play, and then of course NAU for me because that's where I'm from. But I haven't actually seen a whole lot of these Southeast Asia teams play. So this is gonna be really exciting. It's a good opportunity to be here, and I'm really looking forward to see what can come out of today.
Oh yeah, some teams actually, some known names, some unknown names. So I think we're about to look at some of our teams now. Again, this group stage is going to be a best of one. We talked about this just a little bit backstage that, the pressure is on, and I'm sure that the meta is definitely going to change. Not to mention, we are going to adapt some of the new survivors and a new hunter. What are you looking forward to the most with this potentially new lineup? They can even bring the 12 build, the flywheel.
Yeah, Flywheel is interesting. It is obviously a new trait that's come in. I think when Flywheel first came out, it had a lot of potential, right? It's very strong against specific hunters. Breaking Wheel, you can go right through those traps, you can avoid those snaps. Of course, the biggest downside with Breaking Wheel is that there's like a 1-second animation where he goes for that snap. You can see when it's coming and then use the Flywheel. But the problem is, as soon as Flywheel came out, it just got nerfed right away. So now all of a sudden we're in a spot where Flywheel is, not only is it short, the distance is shorter, the time is shorter, and it's just a lot less effective. So your timing has to be absolutely perfect if you're going against that Breaking Wheel. And while it may have been good against hunters like Bloody Queen and Geisha, it's going to be a lot weaker because again. I've seen with that nerf, I've seen so many survivors use it and still get hit at the exact same time, like right after, because it doesn't last long enough. So I think it's, I was gonna say I think it's only really there for Breaking Wheel, but I mean, who knows? We'll have to see. I'm excited to see if it'll come out. I personally don't like it too much because of the nerf, but anything's possible. We'll see.
Yeah, again, we're gonna see it battle tested now more than ever here in the Southeast Asia server. I know Nell, I know Soy, I know NTT. We watched some of the matches to qualify to the group stage, and some people did bring the flywheel, but a lot of people apparently in Southeast Asia, they love them some novelists. I actually thought we're gonna see Little Girl more, but novelist has been showing up in a best of ones. Not sure if it's gonna have priority bans, but where do they sit in your scale, novelist and Little Girl, in the survivor meta for this tournament?
Novelist is Novelist is an interesting character. He's not really strong against anyone. The thing with Novelist is it's like a Novelist is like a less consistent painter is one way you can look at it. Whereas you have like a stun that's about the same, realistically about the same amount of time. But the difference between painter and novelist is that one, painter has good share time, and two, painter can also make distance with his paintings because the hunter's
very true
immobilized. Whereas if you're controlling the novelist when you switch places, you're not making any distance. You're just going to drop the novelist right next to the hunter. So novelist is really just not a strong character by any means. One hunter, it's actually kind of interesting. Novelist is actually pretty good against Bloody Queen because if you're able to get your book, you can when they go for a mirror, you can then use your book right after.
Go away.
Yeah, but ultimately there's just better survivors: perfumer, patient, psychologist. So I personally don't think novelist is very strong. We'll have to see what comes out, as you mentioned. Yeah.
Before you get on to Little Girl, I think we have some of the teams that are ready. So today's first match is going to be ZC versus Noir, and let's head into the team introductions. We have ZC over here. ZC being a team that is kind of new to the competitive scene. Only name that jumps out to me is Yumiko. Shout out to Yumiko. She did use that priestess in their match. And note this, Eli, for them to qualify here, pretty standard when it came to the survivor picks. When they did bring out the Undead. Undead was the hunter that won them the best of one, so I'm really excited to see how they would be fair in this tournament since again, new meta, new team, anything could happen, but they will be going against some juggernauts here in Team Noir. Now, Team Noir is a name. If you guys have been following the Southeast Asia scene, they're definitely a team to be feared because they have been in the IBC for a while. So, if we could switch on over to Noir, there we have it. I don't know if you watched IBC last year, but Marks will be playing. Marks can jump from Hunter and Survivor. So, pretty interesting to note that he will be a Survivor here. So, Looking at Noir's stats here, they hang on one sec. Noir, it is going to be Moru that will be a hunting, and it's going to be Pollen that he did use. So pretty standard. You know what? They brought out a Priestess here, forward patient. Not too straying too far. What I'm interested to see is how they're going to incorporate those new characters. Since this is best of one, we're only going to have one hunter ban and two survivor bans. So I believe we're going to head into the picks and bans already.
Yeah, it looks like it. I believe that's Ever Sleeping Town as well for our first map. So, yeah, best of one is interesting. I mean, you never really see best of one happen very often. So this is going to be, it's an interesting situation. You know, your game plan, your mindset's going to be a lot different. You know, in a lot of situations, you know, sometimes hunters will jump right out with the early amount of heavy kills. And as a survivor side, you know, we talk a lot about limiting the damage and trying to win in the later rounds, but you don't have that as an option here. You know, you have to win this round. So, yeah, so I guess it's really ultimately just the best, you know, option you have versus the best options that they have. Yeah, as you mentioned, it looks like you said one hunter ban and two survivor bans.
Yes,
I believe. Yeah, so it's sort of like a round two situation is basically what we're looking at. So yeah, I guess it's just the best of round two from both sides. This will be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not too familiar with either of these teams. I have heard of Noir, and I believe I've seen them play a little bit as well. But this other team obviously a little bit newer, so we'll see how they're able to do against this Noir team, who's, you know, definitely more known, you know, so far.
Yeah, Noir has been making waves in the IVC scene. IVC, the first IVC, they definitely placed really far. Second IVC, they were quite close to actually qualifying. So I think they made it to like top 8, top 4. So they're definitely strong survivor team, not to mention their hunter. But we see a first ban of the forward. Now in this map, I guess you got to go with Priestess. Maybe pick up the mercenary, maybe pick up another rescuer, or really depends on what they're going to be opting for here. Night Owl, a great survivor when it comes to kiting. So Chocopai, good stunner. Marks here and there with rescuers or going for hunter characters. But Soul is someone that's definitely a new name for me.
Yeah, it looks like we do have forward as the first ban. I believe, is that a breaking wheel ban?
Yes, pollen ban.
Okay, yeah, so we're gonna breaking wheel ban. Yeah, that's interesting. Forward ban first. The only hunter you really do that with is breaking wheel. We are gonna see seer ban as well. So with the, you know, I mean, I guess they were considering maybe breaking wheel wouldn't be banned, but that's, you know, obviously gonna be the case here. You know, with around or I guess in the situation of Ever Sleeping Town map. So yeah, I don't really know what the game plan is for this hunter. You know, forward ban first is interesting. We see psychologist coming in as well. Probably see something like patient or acrobat as the last pick here. Definitely would make the most sense for the survivor. Then we're going to see patient. You know, incredibly strong on this map. You know, this is probably the best patient map in that there's so many places where, you know, I think the biggest issue with patient, you know, from my experience playing patient, is that in certain maps, in certain areas, there's just nowhere to hook. You know, you have nowhere to hook off of, you have nowhere to make distance. But in Ever Sleeping Town, there's almost always a building or a pole or somewhere that you can hook off of. And especially, we are going to see Bloody Queen here. This is interesting. This is a really difficult comp for Bloody Queen on this map in particular as well. I don't really know. You know, Priestess here with these very long buildings, easily portal away, avoid a mirror. Psychologist can take 3 hits. Patient can hook away a mirror, and Mercenary is unchaseable. So Bloody Queen here is really difficult. I guess the forward ban does make a little bit of sense. You don't want to have to deal with rotation. You don't have to deal with forward support, but ultimately, yeah, this is going to be a really difficult matchup for this hunter.
So one thing I do want to take note of is what you said earlier. This is kind of like a BO2 since the pollen was banned. You got to go with BQ being second or third hunter pick. So yeah, it's going to be kind of tough, especially with the meta now of survivors racking up the points. So the best thing for J-Long to do is really try and just not give that much points away, especially with a really strong lineup on the side of Noir. And if you guys have not joined the Discord yet, we are having an IVA prediction. So if you guys scroll all the way up, you can see tournament predictions. If you guys, it's kind of like the Apple system of Call of the Abyss. If you guys are able to get the predictions right, you guys stand a chance to win the S tier skin of the barmaid. So please, definitely go on over there. I think this is heavily favoring Noir, which again, by paper to paper, yeah, Noir is the one to be favored since they are the ones to see more tournament success. ZC, this is their first outing, but who knows? Anything could happen. So let's head into our first match of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think this Survivor team is definitely prepared for this matchup as well. You know, we talked about how you know, the survivors here are you just have a really good team composition for going against Bloody Queen. We're going to see corner house spawn, which means the key spawn is over near the what we call bad corner area because it's very weak with the 2 pallets. Immediately rotating towards middle should probably go towards the fake gate area. That is the most logical option for hunters when you get this spawn. The question is, what survivors in this area? If it's a mercenary or patient, actually, if it's any survivor, it's difficult. I mean, you don't have a lot of good chase targets as Bloody Queen here, which again begs the question, why go Bloody Queen here? We are going to see him find psychologists trying to position themselves. You see right here, this is why Bloody Queen struggles on this map. It's just so hard to see. It's so hard to mirror. It's so hard to see survivors. Already strong rotation, forcing the Bloody Queen to change targets yet again. Is able to find the location of, I believe that's Night Owl here. Gonna go for that first mirror. Already blocked off by the building, but they are able to get the hit just in time there. And Priestess is gonna go ahead and transition towards that corner house, positioning themselves for here. At this point, the blink is inevitable. So the idea here for the Priestess is just create enough distance constantly where the Bloody Queen, you can delay the blink as long as possible.
And now that's what Night Owl is doing. Again, it had a bit of a slow start, but that mirror hit was definitely very effective. But now this is one of the strengths of the Priestess here in a huge map like this. The distance that's covered, the line of sight she's breaking, and now baiting out a mirror, and like you said, a sandwich situation, but able to portal away and not able to get that hit. This mirror is going to go to waste, and the blink is online. But look at the distance. Like, it's going to be a non-factor if Night Owl can just maintain this distance. But so far, no more mirrors left for this, holy keys for this Priestess.
Yeah, and this is exactly why, again, we see this be a struggle for Bloody Queen here. We're going to see the blink come out, and it is going to get the down, but you saw how much time Priestess was able to delay that. Again, delaying the inevitable is really important for going against the Bloody Queen. Now, I think in this situation, survivors have a pretty decent position with enough body blocks in the endgame. They can actually just push for a win here. And again, Bloody Queen, so difficult here. We're probably going to see Mercenary come in for that rescue. I believe that was the survivor near the corner house, unless it was Psychologist. No, it is. I think that's Mercenary. And we're going to see them come in for the first rescue. That Cypher Machine almost done for the Mercenary. Survivors are going to try to push the last 2 here. So they actually have a elbow pad does get canceled. They actually have a winning position if they can body block the second rescue long enough.
Yeah, the elbow pad was canceled. The rescue did happen, and now, I mean, ciphers are still moving. Priestess has one holy key that is online already, waiting for the mirror to come out. Now decides just to go through that holy key and just chasing her on foot. He just has to be patient. This BQ wants to be able to down this Priestess once again, and it does just before the tide turner ran out. So Jaylong has to be very careful on stuffing this next rescue attempt from happening. We do see the Psychologist has already used the whistle. Mercenary is there for the rebound rescue. 3 ciphers are still remaining.
Yeah, I mean, I think they may go for Mercenary saves again and just tries to body block. Again, the 2 survivors already popped Cypher Machines. Already popped 2 Cypher Machines by the time that first survivor went down, which means these next 2 ciphers they're on should already have above 50% progress. And we also have Mercenary Cypher, which was the first one that he did. We're going to see a mirror here. That's pretty irrelevant mirror. Even if you're able to get that hit, that is okay. We do see that rescue come off here. Mercenary needs to body block this as long as possible. Blink is on cooldown, mirror is on cooldown, no tide turner. That's irrelevant because, again, you can't kill without the mirror here as the Bloody Queen. Mercenary is going to just go around here. They're going to try to take as many hits as possible. Missing that pallet stun, Mercenary needs to catch up to the Priestess and be able to body block this next mirror so the survivors can prime down these last Cypher Machines. They have the time to do so, but that's the idea of Psychologist healing there, is that you now give yourself enough time. We're going to see a triple body block. Patient gets a drop down hit. That's not ideal here. You have to force attack recovery so you can extend that time as long as possible.
Okay, waiting for him to drop down. It's the Priestess that drops down, but no, it is the Mercenary that ate that hit. 1 Cypher still remains. Psychologist is hot on that Cypher, and now they're forced to chair the Patient. Now, Mercenary can go for this rebound rescue because he does have that delayed effect, and the Priestess can get away since she's dead on chair. So it's still it's a tough situation for this Bloody Queen. Now, Mercenary about to close out the distance and go for this rescue. Detention will be a factor. Blink is already in. Might use the trump card to just try and get more survivors once endgame hits. Gets the rescue from happening. Now, the body block needs to be very important here. Chasing away from the Cypher is the main priority. So now he's just delaying the inevitable, trying to go for a swing here. Goes already, but the Psychologist can't eat one more hit.
We are going to see that hit in the Cypher pop. Ooh, Bloody Queen actually makes a really big misstep there. You have to wait till your mirror comes back so you can immediately mirror and kill the psychologist once they pop that cipher machine. They should have waited before hitting there. We're going to see them go ahead and teleport to the exit gate, and does try to find a survivor, goes for that mirror image. Can they get that hit? Oh, and we see the flywheel come into effect, actually keeping the patient alive, and now patient has hooks to work with. There's no blink. There's really no way for the Bloody Queen to kill this character in this area, and Dungeon is in the vicinity with hooks available. Patient actually has a pretty easy out to a forced survivor escape here if played properly. We're going to see him just try to loop this as much as possible. Again, going up and around this two-story area, making it difficult for the Bloody Queen to go for that mirror. All three survivors should be getting out here. Patient's going to try to position themselves well here. Oh, but they vault right into the mirror image. But can they potentially last this out? Goes for two swings, unable to get both of them. Switching places. Patient has a hook. They can easily just run around the corner of this building and hook towards middle. I think they can probably beat the Bloody Queen to the dungeon here.
Yeah, again, Marks, one of the slippery survivors here, has another hook that's about to be ready in 2 seconds. Marks just making a mad dash before that mirror could be ready. Already utilized the hook. Didn't really need it, but amazing performance by Noir, ladies and gentlemen. So really living up to the potential that they had in the IVCs and now making their presence felt. I think when it came to the picks and bans, they already had an advantage with all these survivors that heavily countered Bloody Queen.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you see that Bloody Queen on Ever Sleeping Town is just so difficult. Not only, I mean, the mirrors weren't bad. They were actually able to get a lot of nice mirror hits. It's just that when you have this team banning forward first, it's nice to be able to eliminate that. But ideally in that situation, you just ban Seer, you let them lock in maybe forward Priestess, and then you could ban something like Mercenary, you could ban something like Patient, give yourself better chase targets. I mean, in this situation, when you ban forward and you ban Seer, obviously you want to ban Seer, but banning forward, you can't afford to do that, especially in Ever Sleeping Town. You give the hunter you give the survivors too many BQ counters. Priestess isn't necessarily considered a Bloody Queen counter, but on this map it is, because again, they go for the mirror, you just portal away. Patient, you go for a mirror, you just hook away. There's so many easy hook locations. Psychologist can take 3 mirror hits. I mean, in Mercenary Unchaseable, so in this situation, it's just it's impossible for a Bloody Queen to really get extra aggressive here. It's really challenging, and the survivors again utilize that anti-Bloody Queen team comp to their advantage, and we're able to rotate, we're able to push for win. Delaying the blink as long as possible is important as well, and you see why that hard body blocking in the end can easily result in a survivor win against a Bloody Queen.
Oh yeah, and I think they played that to a T. Unfortunate, just one small mistake, right, for the Bloody Queen, it just resulted in this manner. I think Bloody Queen was really playing for like a tie, because I mean, aside from everything you mentioned with the survivors just heavily countering, it's just that everybody knows already how to counter this Bloody Queen. It's just the game knowledge as well as the toolkit that each survivor brings to the table. And as you can see down below, ladies and gentlemen, that's a score of 5 for the survivors of Noir. Since this is a best of 1, ZC has really putting a lot of pressure here. Their survivors need to get 4 survivors out for them to get a group. In the group stage, they need to get 1 point, right? So they need to get 4 survivors out for them to stay alive and probably push for a tie. But it's going to be quite tough, because Moru is another seasoned hunter on the side of Noir, and he could definitely get like at least just a tie. He could play it super safe and just go for ties.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll have to see what the survivor team can do here, but I don't know. Again, Bloody Queen on this map, I would imagine. I actually don't know for the map pick. I assume they do like a coin toss, right? To determine that. So I would imagine that this map was not. This was probably Noir's pick, because again, with a Breaking Wheel ban, Bloody Queen here, it just doesn't work. So. So again, 5-0 lead here for Noir. So this is a difficult comeback for them. We'll have to see what the survivors can do. Again, just overall that team comp very difficult. I think something the Bloody Queen could have actually done to come back in that situation is, as soon as they switch to the psychologist there, they kind of put themselves in a really, really bad position, because even if you kill psychologists, they're not dead on chair. You can chair them, but it allows Mercenary to easily make a rescue. There's a couple things. As soon as they switch to come back from that, you have to wait till your mirror comes back. We talked about this for the match, but you have to wait till your mirror comes back. So if you hit them, they pop the cipher, you can immediately mirror, get a kill, and then teleport to the gate and maybe go for a draw from there. But as soon as you go for that hit and your mirror's on cooldown, you just can't kill any survivor from that position. So another thing the Bloody Queen could have done as well is, if you continue to chase after the Priestess, hold your trait and just go for a basic hit on Priestess, they pop the cipher, you immediately mirror Priestess, kill her, and maybe get a chair and teleport to the gate, then you can still draw from that position. But as soon as you change targets to something like a patient in the endgame who has very good endgame kiting potential, you just set yourself up for the survivors to easily kite to dungeon, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it was again a scrambly situation. As you said at the start, it was kind of tough for the BQ to land a target, but the mirrors were on point. I think it's just too much pressure that the survivors had, that he was kind of forced to make these rash decisions here and there for him to be able to switch and then hit the psychologist without having the mirror trade up. Already utilizing the the teleport. So really, those minute exchanges, it's a lot of risk for not much reward, because the BQ, if a BQ would play it right with this composition, usually they end up with a tie. And it's just the matchup right from the get-go in the picks and bans. It was already an uphill battle for our friends at ZC, but it's not the last we'll see of them. We will see them switch sides. It's gonna be Moru now that's gonna be doing the hunting, while the surviving will be done by the team of ZC. So they still have a fighting chance. They just really need to get 4-person escape just to push for that tie. We're not gonna compare times just yet. There will be a tiebreaker match. And while we're still transitioning, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that is tuning in right now on the YouTube and also on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please also go on the Discord, predict the next matches that will come, because the person with the most predictions will be going home with an amazing Identity 5 skin of the Barmaid, the summer S tier skin. So I think are we transitioning to the next match, or are we taking a break? I'm not quite sure. I do see that we do have the next match lined up. I guess not. So no break. Okay, cool. So Chantel is saying what's up to us. I mean, me and Eli we're finally in the same studio. How about it, Eli?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, it's good. We still have our 6 feet apart because of COVID. But,
exactly.
Grab my mask.
No, it's all good.
Bad
we're
role model.
Next time we'll think of ideas on how we could cosplay. Who knows? We'll see. But Flywheel. We saw the patient on Flywheel. Interesting build for the patient to have Flywheel. That's a lot of distance. Even I know it was kind of nerfed, but I mean, I'm guessing it was a upright build on the patient. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, probably Flywheel is it's a trait again. Once it was nerfed, it kind of only became good against Breaking Wheel. I mean, it still is like kind of okay against Geisha and Bloody Queen, but not anywhere as much as it used to be. But in that instance, it does work. It actually works well. It works well with Patient, because if for example, Bloody Queen goes for a mirror, they go for a swing. You Flywheel the first swing, and then you can hook right after, so there's no chance of your hook getting canceled because they just swung. So that's kind of the little combination we saw, kind of work in that last match. But yeah, that's why it's pretty good on Patient. But ultimately, Flywheel, I don't expect to see too much of it in this tournament, because it's just, once that nerf came in, it's just so weak. But who knows? We'll have to see.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I don't know. I actually thought so as well. But when we saw the elimination match, to lead to the group stage, there was a lot of people that brought Flywheel in to great effect. So maybe it's a Southeast Asia meta that they bring out the Flywheel. But we will be taking a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. When we return, it's going to be the second half of Noir versus ZC. So don't go anywhere. More of IVA when we return.
Wheel dead.
Return to basics. Surrender restraints. Relinquish thyself. Like the eagle plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathed in the spring, we drink. We worship. We indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the nasal organ. Reptiles' delicate biology is engraved with the mysteries of evolution. Researching them feels like listening to hymns and tracing the steps left by the Creator. But and lies unexpected malice. Is this a cruel joke from the Creator? Or the inconvenient truth of evolution? All but a small price to pay on the path of truth. And as the scales shed, I shall step over the last of my boundaries.
Hello， 大家好，地狱人格的玩家们，我是浩明。identity 人格系统的新求生者教主吴金若已经与大家见面了，我是他的设计师之一，很高兴这个角色能够得到大家的喜爱。今天我就来分享一下这个角色开发幕后的故事。我们呢，在2021年引入了 identity 人格系统，在这个系统里，所有的。
All right, so we're back with our second half of our first match, 5-0 in favor of Noir. So this is a really good start for them. We saw a Bloody Queen on Ever Sleeping Town, which, again, probably one of the worst maps for Bloody Queen, unfortunately, and it is going into it was going into a very hard anti-Bloody Queen comp. So, yeah, already it wasn't looking too good going into that match for the Bloody Queen player. They definitely made it interesting, but again, the Survivors team composition just, it's just too strong for Bloody Queen, and we saw that be the case. 5-0 in favor of Noir. We're going to have to see a really big comeback from the ZC Survivors here. They do have Ever Sleeping Town, which is a pretty, Survivor-sided map. However, certain hunters can also be quite successful here as well. So we'll have to see. They just need one Survivor eliminated, and it will be over. So we'll see what ZC can do here, but definitely an uphill battle for them.
Oh yeah, and especially since we did mention that in the picks and bans we are having a hunter ban, so that kind of leaves out Pollen, which is one of the strongest hunters on this map. Looking at the Survivor side of ZC, you have the Seer in their first match here in the elimination phase. They did bring out the Seer, Acrobat, Mercenary, Priestess, which is a very well-rounded composition, but they are going up against Moru, one of the seasoned hunters here in the Southeast Asia region. So even if you ban his Pollen, which they actually do, he still has a Sculptor to utilize. He still has other hunters, and he can go for the BQ if he wants to, but then again, it's going to be kind of tough, like you mentioned. He just needs to go for at least one Survivor kill.
Yeah, Breaking Wheel ban, obviously you don't want to have to deal with a wheel and Ever Sleeping. It's just, in a situation where you need 4 Survivors out, it's almost not even worth it to ban Breaking Wheel. Breaking Wheel is actually a hunter that typically won't bring detention. I think if it is in this case, this Breaking Wheel player probably would have brought detention just because you only need 1 kill.
My apologies. Sorry, it's actually not more. It's Oxygen that we'll be hunting now. So Oxygen, very good Breaking Wheel. So I think that's definitely something that they just wanted to leave out of the table. But we are seeing a Seer ban come out. So sorry, you continue, Eli.
Yeah, Breaking Wheel, I was going to say, Breaking Wheel ban, obviously, if it is a very good Breaking Wheel player, you don't want to have to deal with it. Just Breaking Wheel is a hunter that actually can, well, it may be very strong in this map and can get a lot of kills. It's also a hunter that actually is more likely to get 4 escaped than some other hunters because, typically Breaking Wheel, it doesn't, you don't really have a lot of, the late game can be difficult in some instances, for the end game chase because a lot of the time you won't have the tension, but here you'd probably see them bring detention if they were to go wields. But we are going to see Seer ban, as you mentioned, Breaking Wheel as well. So, that begs the question, what hunter do you go here? You only need 1 kill, so maybe you play something like super conservatively, play a draw hunter. But again, the best draw hunter, Bloody Queen, may not be a great option.
For this map, yeah.
We talked about, Bloody Queen here, not very good. We do see, I think that's Patient, right? As the second ban,
Patient.
if I'm not mistaken. So maybe they are gearing up to go Bloody Queen. That would actually make a lot of sense. Bloody Queen struggles against Patient, and we saw Patient be very strong in the last match, so that could definitely be an option. Just Patient in general, incredibly powerful on Ever Sleeping.
Yeah, looking at the ban so far, not only just the Patient, but that Seer. Note that Priestess and Mercenary do counter Mary pretty hard, but let's see what the rest of ZC will utilize, because, they did go for Acrobat, they did go for... they do have Mercenary. They did have a Seer in their previous match, but now the Seer is banned, but that could be heavily substituted with Psychologist, so it's that can sort of counter. Acrobat's still a nightmare to chase coming into this map, especially with the Priestess's portal, so Oxygen's gonna have a pretty tough time if he's gonna use that BQ. So locking in the Acrobat, and one more for the Survivors side of ZC. Psychologist is still on the table. My Little Girl, no, going for the Batter, so you want that extra harassment in their arsenal.
Yeah, the thing is, while Psychologist would be really strong for this sort of situation, or this sort of map, I guess, it doesn't really work in this situation because, again, you have to get 4 survivors out, so you need characters that can kite against hunters. And Psychologist, while she may be very good in the early game kite, she's not very good when it comes to that detention kite. So, Mercenary, obviously, it can take a full hit with detention. Priestess, very strong on this map. Any character that has recharging abilities are very good for 4 survivor escapes because they still will have their abilities to kite with in the end game when you have detention. Priestess, obviously very good. Mercenary doesn't have a recharging ability but can take a detention hit for free and also has elbow pads. Acrobat recharges those bombs when kiting, when rescuing, when decoding, and then Batter, as long as you're able to save some. We're going to see Gamekeeper as well. Batter can save those balls. Gamekeeper, well, it may not be a very good tournament hunter. It actually works. Again, it works here. We only need 1 kill. It's not a bad character for just getting 1 kill.
Exactly. The traps all around, his hook just to be able to mitigate the distance that these survivors are gaining. Especially if a Batter is trying to wind up and swing at you, you could just go for the hook and just cancel him out of that swing animation. So it's still gonna be, if we saw this first round, that's gonna be crazy, right? But knowing the context of the situation, Oxygen just needs 1. So he just needs to focus on 1, camp the heck out of that survivor, and just try and hope that he can stuff any rescue attempts that can happen. And Gamekeeper's camping is quite strong as well. So I hope you guys have placed your bets in. Noir is the favored team to move on with a point here in the group stage, but I'm sure ZC will not go down fighting.
Yeah, when it comes to Gamekeeper camping, it's actually kind of interesting. Gamekeeper is probably the most luck-based camping hunter in the game. In that, again, you go for those instant terror shocks with the hook, right? When you're trying to go for that. Well, that's one of the strategies. One of them you'll see is you'll cut off a rescuer from a distance, hit them, and then try to hook them before they make it to the chair. But that's very hard to do in Ever Sleeping Town because it's there's a lot of places you can come in from. Priest can portal in, Mercenary can elbow pad. So yeah, Gamekeeper. If it does come down to camping, as you mentioned, it's just really luck based because you have an instant damage ability with the hook. If you hold down the hook and you release it, you can instantly throw the hook and try to terror shock a survivor on the chair. So that's why you don't see Gamekeeper used a lot in tournaments because you don't see a lot of luck-based hunters. That being Gamekeeper, that being Clown is another one. You don't see those characters being utilized a lot because you want to see consistency. You want to see characters that are consistent at getting good stuffs like a Bonbon. Or something like a Sculptor, whereas with something like Gamekeeper, Clown, it's luck-based. But in a situation where you really need 1 kill, it really doesn't matter. As long as you can get any kill with detention, you'll just win the round anyways. So that's why we're going to see Gamekeeper immediately trapping over at that Fake Cape palette. That's a very good trap to place down. We're going to see Insolence and Detention as well. So Very interesting build. Insolence on Gamekeeper, not something you see every day. The full presence for Gamekeeper, of course, allows you to hook over and over as long as you're hooking a wall. So it is nice to have, but it's not really worth Insolence for you typically. But I guess in a situation where you only need 1 kill again, you have a lot to work with.
Here we go, chasing Yumiko in the alley, able to get the mercenary and the hit. So again, this is the mercenary. Yumiko just providing some discipline, not really expending the elbow pad just yet, but that hit will haunt her in the future unless they are able to go for a heal here. So it seems like Oxygen wants to down this mercenary. So Yumiko has to be very sparing with these elbow pad usage, and deja vu, Eli. Mercenary falls down here in the alleyway, and that is the win condition for Oxygen. There's no one here that's the main rescuer to rescue this mercenary.
Yeah, you did see the mercenary doing a good job of breaking line of sight, but as soon as you go back into that alley, you have to elbow pad out of it because the alley is so narrow with Gamekeeper's hook hitbox. There's a really likely chance you're going to get hit. It doesn't matter how hard you hug the wall, you're still going to take that hook hit. So as soon as you go back to that alley, you got to hook away. You got to elbow pad away, get out of the alley, and constantly break that line of sight. We do see Gamekeeper going back to chair. Are they able to get off a rescue? They are able to get the save.
Wow.
Does get the hook through that rescuer, through the batter onto the mercenary. Mercenary, again, is not able to elbow pad away there. As mercenary, you have to elbow pad away. You have to elbow pad to a point where you're breaking that line of sight. And in this case, it's just it's not working out here. We're going to see batter come in potentially for a harass. But again, batter can struggle here against this hook because all you have to do is land that hook, get that hit, and yeah, there's another free hit. They are able to I thought they were going for that body block. We're going to see them go ahead and drop a trap. So even if this does happen, he's going to land in the trap. Yeah, he's not able to get the harass off anyways, and he's going to be chaired for the second time.
Man, the way that Oxygen was able to snipe out from afar, and another one. He is a sniper on this Gamekeeper. He just knows. I think, yeah, he knows the luck-based factor with it, but he's just going on pure instinct. And you saw how conservative he played. He didn't really want to go for the tear shock. Now, the rescue did happen. This is where the Priestess can be a nuance here. But now, just going through, he just needs to know he wants to go for these hits on the Mercenary. Priestess trying to body block, but look, 4 ciphers still remain. Acrobat in the area to provide some extra harassment. We do see the drop down happening on the Priestess. Mercenary here, elbow padding, and not unable to drop down. Oxygen about to land a hit, and now the Mercenary will be falling down.
Yeah, Mercenary, unfortunately trapped in that area. The last chance here is, again, just have batter come in, see what they can do. Mercenary's going to try to die in the open near the... Oh, they're running away from the window. You have to die in the open near the window. So if the batter does get the harass off, you can potentially kite in that window. We're going to see him go for that hook. Baits the pallet drop, gets the hit. That is going to be most likely that last kill required here. And that batter can no longer harass. Nobody can harass anymore. As soon as Mercenary hits that chair, it will be a win for Noir, and that is it. Excellent job, from the Gamekeeper here. Batter, again, put in a tough situation. I think they actually had an option to go forward. Forward was not banned, and they went with the batter instead. So, yeah, interesting choice there from NC, but it is going to work out in Noir's favor.
Hey, again, ZC, this is their first time here in the tournament skit. Welcome to the big league, says Noir. Oxygen not pulling any punches with this Gamekeeper. He knows he wants that victory. He's going to go for more survivors and really test the grit of this team and how they're going to be able to try to mitigate the situations. 3 ciphers remain. 1 cipher is being worked on by the Priestess. That's almost about to pop. It looks like they might trade, but we do see that the Acrobat is here avoiding the hook. And now he has to be very careful on this save. Oxygen, timing it well, but no, just knows that the batter is the main target. No tide being brought by that Acrobat. He's going to play the camping game once again.
Yeah, back to the chair for the second time again. As you mentioned, predicting that no tide turner, which means all you have to do is just hit that survivor off the chair. Don't allow for any potential rebound kite. We are going to see... another rescue come in. Can he go for that long range hook? And no, is unable to get it.
Flywheel.
And we do see the rescue on the batter, but it's only a matter of time before batter goes down for the second time, or for the last time here, and that 1 kill has already been secured.
Yeah, Priestess brought in Flywheel. I think that's how she was able to avoid the hook, and now we see that the hooks are going to be closing in on the survivor. It seems like it's the Acrobat. I think he lost sight. Did he lose sight of the batter?
I think so, yeah.
Gets the hook through the pallet. I mean, it's only inevitable with Oxygen's doing now because it's going to be quite tough to divide and conquer here. But Oxygen still knows, goes for the teleport, and now sees if anyone is in this area, goes for the drop down, and luckily it is the batter. And the batter able to get a hit in. Great stuff, but now the hook has to line it up well, just closing out the distance, goes for the regular hit, and the batter will be dead on chair.
Yeah, unfortunately for batter, there's not much you can really do. As long as the gamekeeper hooks a wall, the hook's going to be infinite. There's no way. I mean, if you dodge that hook near the window, they can still just get another hook on you, and we are going to see batter, being eliminated here. 2 survivors remaining. With still 2 Cypher machines left. This is really difficult for the survivors, even if they want. Of course, it is already over, but if the survivors, again, still trying to get at least maybe a draw here out of this situation, it's just very unlikely here. A gamekeeper, not a very likely option to come out, but it is working out for Oxygen. Ever Sleeping Town, I guess, in theory, isn't bad for a gamekeeper. The alleyway is very, very narrow, which, it makes it hard to dodge those hooks, considering how large that hook hitbox is. We're going to see Oxygen close the distance here again. He has an infinite amount of hooks, because of that full presence. Priest is going to use that portal to try to make some distance here, but again, still has that hook available, does get it onto the Priestess. You see why that full presence for Gamekeeper can be so powerful.
Yeah, again, he's just closing out the distance, and all these hooks have been very effective. He missed one, but then, like you said, he hooks the wall. He's able to hook near the area. He's baiting reactions from these survivors. Able to hook the Priestess off the stairs. Incredible. Oxygen again. The instincts on this hunter is through the roof, and now Acrobat just a chip damage away from falling. 1 Cypher remains. Again, it's a pretty tall task if he wants to go for that dungeon, but now Oxygen knows he's going to try to patrol around the area, waiting for that tinnitus to pop up, and he knows someone is in this corner house area. So Oxygen making sure he's waiting. He's going to plan a trap there, because if he chooses to drop down, but he does not. He's going to try to drop down on the window side. But Oxygen has his routes planned out.
Yeah, we're going to see him go up here, toward the window. Acrobat's going to go ahead and drop down. Again, trying to stay alive as much as possible here. Trying to go for these hooks here. Able to, again, just using these hooks to close this. Wow, that...
Wow.
Yeah.
Through the corner. My God, Oxygen for 3 points there. I mean, the 3-point hooks have been very much on point with the highlights, and Oxygen just surprising everyone. I did not think in a best of 1 we were going to see a gamekeeper come to play, but Oxygen just showing us welcome to the Southeast Asia competitive scene, Team ZC, and welcome to Southeast Asia. Eli, you see a lot of flywheels here, you see a lot of gamekeepers, and a lot of 4Ks.
Gamekeeper again, not a character we expect to see. Again, you only needed 1 kill here and got the job done for sure. As we talked about, in theory, Gamekeeper not too bad here, because some of those narrow alleyways, it's just so hard to dodge. We actually see, Mercenary getting first chases is really good for survivors, because, because you have, it's just not a character that, you really want to chase versus a hunter. But again, Mercenary, you have to, as a Mercenary player, you have to elbow pad away from those alleys. If you get trapped in that alley, you have to elbow pad away so you can keep breaking the line of sight. You saw after they took that first hit, they're able to do that. They're able to loop around once, but just they weren't able to elbow pad that again in that alley. Same situation. Both hooks the exact same spot, again, breaking line of sight is so important against Gamekeeper. Mercenary wasn't able to do that long enough, and it worked out for Oxygen here.
Yeah, Oxygen, again, aside from him bring out the Gamekeeper, his hunter instincts for that hook, able to hook in corner situations through the pallet when they're going up the stairs. So this is definitely a hunter that has gotten everyone's attention. I know Oxygen has made his name in the NMFAM tournament and also in IVC and other tournaments like that, but I definitely think that he was really testing the survivors of ZC. So congratulations to Noir. They are moving on in the group stages with 1 point, but ZC will still have other matches, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the group stage. Again, in best of 1s, you really bring in a new strategy here, because it's really the best foot forward in coming in these matches, and especially want the best possible lineup, since it's really make or break. Eli, you and I both know that best of 3 is very nerve-wracking. What more with best of 1s?
Yeah, exactly. Best of 1. Yeah, it's just a do or die situation. You have to jump out to an excellent start. So, obviously we saw Noir the survivors. They did the job. They gave pretty much no pressure at all to the hunter. I mean, again, you just got to get 1 kill, and that's exactly what happened. So, it's just Noir definitely prepared to play in these best of 1 situations. So, they'll be moving on to their first win here. So we'll see.
I just want to give a shout out to good job, man. Dang, those hook shots in the stairs, that was a sheesh moment. What's going on? Good job, man. Yeah, that was insane. The way Oxygen played that. Any highlights that you want to bring, either Survivor or Hunter side, before we throw it to a break?
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely the biggest one, obviously in the first round was the patient able to transition towards. Yeah, utilizing his hooks. The flywheel on that mirror was very important as well. So, and then for Oxygen again, just overall, just very good hooks. I think the one on the middle 2-story stairs was pretty. I didn't even know you could do that, so that was that was pretty cool. So definitely learning something new every day from these players. So that was definitely the best.
That's actually one of the things that I appreciate with these type of tournaments. You're definitely learning more about teams, different strategies, off meta, in meta strategies. So again, always excited to be here. Excited to share the mic with you, Eli. So we will be taking a very short break. When we return, it's going to be Team Predators versus Team TGS. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, Eli, O, and Potch Spice on the mic. We'll be taking a short break. When we return, more IVA. So don't go anywhere.
Return to basics. Surrender restraints. Relinquish thyself. Like the eagle, plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathed in the spring, we drink. We worship. We indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the vulnerable nasal organ. Reptiles' delicate biology is engraved with the mysteries of evolution. Researching them feels like listening to hymns and tracing the steps left by the Creator. But and lies unexpected malice. Is this from the Creator. Or the inconvenient truth of evolution. All but a small price to pay on the path of truth. And as the scales shed, I shall step over the last of my boundaries.
Hello， 大家好，第5人份的玩家们，我是浩明。identity 人格系统的新求生者教主卢基诺已经和大家见面了，我是他的设计师之一，很高兴这个角色能够得到大家的喜爱。今天我就来分享一下这个角色开发幕后的故事。我们呢，在2021年引入了 identity 人格系统，在这个系统里，所有的角色都是已有角色的一个新的形态。我们希望一些角色能以一个新的形态突破求生者和监管者之间的阵营隔阂，呈现角色更多的可能性。这次新求生者教主卢基诺，他和聂西卢基诺其实是同一个人。在聂西卢基诺的推演故事中，卢基诺教授被神秘的毒蛇咬伤了，他的身体逐渐开始变异。他为了追寻这一条毒蛇之源，来到了庄园。也就是说，每一对 identity 角色都是基于同一个角色，在同一个故事框架下进行设计的。当然，我们也不会限定这样一对角色它必须是同一个人的概念，也不会限定说每一对角色它都必须在求生者和监管者两个阵营之间相互转换。今年我们将再推出一个新的 identity 角色，大家敬请期待。其实我们在选角色的时候是想过，聂西这个监管者他是非常特别的，在我们的游戏里，他是一个追猎者的形象，他是整个蜥蜴的外表，有着蜥蜴的鳞片、尖爪、尾巴。这时我们就会好奇，如果我们拿监管者这个聂西卢基诺的形象去做一个求生者，那求生者长怎么样的呢？之前说过，求生者卢基诺是他受邀来访庄园时的形态。因此呢，我们在设计外形的时候需要兼顾教主卢基诺和聂西卢基诺两者的特征。虽然监管者聂西他是有着蜥蜴和人脸混杂的五官，但是我们还是提取了一些他身上独有的五官的立体感。此外呢，在整个教授卢基诺身上还有一些聂西的鳞片，以及手和指甲会变得更像爪子，让两者有所不一。最后就诞生出了大家最终看到的教授卢基诺。我们的设计师首先确认了教授的核心技能是围绕反射攻击，也就是零分异化这个高难度技能展开的。玩家们需要在高度将互喷过程中同时留意对手的镜头，并在瞬间高度使用激活技能。有时候你甚至可以主动靠近监管者来触发鳞片硬化的技能效果。鳞片硬化可以在板窗交互的过程中使用，避免被后来追击的监管者恐惧震慑。为了进一步加强教授的辅助能力，参加了实验型求生者也能反弹攻击的被动技能。以上就是我今天给大家分享的教主卢基诺开发幕后，希望能帮助玩家们更多了解卢基诺这个角色。感谢大家喜欢我们的爱的这个系统。我们后续也会为大家带来更多精心设计的游戏内容，敬请期待哦！再见。
Miss Keo, how was your childhood? Well, at the dinner table, Father said with a smile, "You sure love playing judge, don't you?" And then they wanted me to pursue my own happiness. Of course, so did my brothers. Your brothers? He was not qualified to represent justice. And I won't allow that to happen. Something happened, I suppose. I did what I had to do. Justice needs obedience. Justice needs sacrifice. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. That's all.
Long ago, when demons and gods walked amongst humanity, two sisters lived a life of creating fragrances.
All that you desire shall be granted if you bring me a fragrance that relieves one's sorrow.
Finally, the younger sister completed the god's request. A beautiful dress woven from painful memories is the perfect attire for me.
With steam dense as a veil, and wine sweet as honey, one can't help but relax at the hot spring. Return to basics, surrender restraints, relinquish thyself. Like the eagle plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathe in the spring, we drink. We worship. We indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the vulvaral nasal organ. Reptiles dominant biology is engraved with mysteries of evolution. Researching the things, like listening to things, and tracing the steps left. What? And some unexpected malice. Is this a cruel joke from the creator? Or the inconvenient truth of evolution? All with a small price to pay on the path of the truth. And as the scales shed, I shall step over the last of my boundaries.
Hello， 大家好，第5人格的玩家们，我是浩明。Identity 人格系统的新求生者教授卢基诺已经和大家见面了，我是他的设计者之一。很高兴这个角色能够得到大家的喜爱，今天我就来分享一下这个角色开发幕后的故事。我们呢，在2020年引入了 Identity 人格系统，在这个系统里，所有的角色都是已有角色的一个新的形态。我们希望一些角色能以一个新的形态突破求生者和监管者之间的阵营隔阂，呈现角色更多的可能性。这次新求生者教授卢基诺，他和涅西卢基诺其实是同一个人。在涅西卢基诺的推演故事中，卢基诺教授被神秘的毒蛇咬伤了，他的身体逐渐开始变异。他为了追寻这一条毒蛇之源，来到了庄园。也就是说，每一对 identity 角色都是基于同一个角色，在同一个故事框架下进行设计的。当然，我们也不会限定这样一对角色它必须是同一个人的概念，也不会限定说每一对角色它都必须在求生者和监管者两个阵营之间相互转换。今年我们将再推出一个新的 identity 角色，大家敬请期待。其实我们在选角色的时候是想过，涅西这个监管者他是非常特别的，在我们游戏里他是一个追猎者的形象，他是整个蜥蜴的外表有着蜥蜴的鳞片、尖爪、尾巴。这时我们就会好奇，如果我们拿监管者这个涅西卢基诺的形象去做一个求生者，那求生者可长怎么样的呢？之前说过，求生者卢基诺是他受邀来访庄园时的形态，因此呢，我们在设计外形的时候需要兼顾教授卢基诺和涅西卢基诺两者的特征。虽然监管者涅西他是有着蜥蜴和人脸混杂的五官，但是我们还是提取了一些他身上独有的五官的立体感。此外呢，在整个教授卢基诺身上还有一些涅西的鳞片，以及手和指甲也会变得更像爪子，让两者有所不一。最后就诞生出了大家最终看到的教授卢基诺。我们的设计时首先确认了教授的核心技能是围绕反弹攻击，也就是鳞片硬化这个高难度技术展开的。玩家们需要在高度紧张的追逃过程中同时留意对手的动作，并在瞬间抓住时机激活技能。有时候你甚至可以主动靠近监管者来触发鳞片硬化的技能效果。鳞片硬化可以在板仓交互的过程中使用，避免被后来追击监管者恐慌震慑。为了进一步加强教授的辅助能力，增加了支援其他求生者也能反弹攻击的退灵技能。以上就是我今天给大家分享的教授卢基诺开发幕后，希望能帮助玩家们更多了解卢基诺这个角色。感谢大家喜欢我们的 Identity 系统，我们后续也会为大家带来更多精心设计的游戏内容， 敬请期待哦，再见。
Miss Kiro, how was your childhood? Well, at the dinner table, Father said with a smile, "You sure love playing judge, don't you?" And then they wanted me to pursue my own happiness. Of course, so did my brothers. Your brothers? He was not qualified to represent justice. And I won't allow that to happen. Something happened, I suppose. I did what I had to do. Justice needs obedience.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to more IVA action. Pot Spice and Eli O on the mic, giving you the Identity 5 action here. Now, just for everyone to know, the show must go on. There was a team that experienced some technical difficulties. It is Predators, so unfortunately, they are going to be they're not going to be playing this match. But TGangS will still be playing up against ZC. So yes, we will have an exhibition match. The show definitely must go on. Eli, first and foremost, I want to get your thoughts on this match, but I feel like we're going to see some artworks first. So that's another thing that I want to let everyone know. If you guys haven't submitted your artworks yet, you just use the hashtag IVA for us to see that and get a shout out, and as well as some, I think, $5. So that's definitely something to look for. So artwork, are we going to see it? And a bit, I guess, for that is TGangS. So I guess we're gonna go to the match. So let's talk about exhibition matches now.
So we have ZC, which did play previously. He's gonna play again against TGangS. So we'll see how this goes. Again, I'm not really sure. I don't know too much about TGangS. Again,
I'll fill you in.
I'm still trying to adapt to this community, trying to figure out all these teams. But
hey, we appreciate you being new here and also asking a lot of questions. TGangS from the Philippines, they did send another Philippine team home, which is Code Black. I'm excited to see them again. This is still an exhibition match, but I'm sure that the highlights, they're still going to play their heart out, right? And I think we're about to head to the picks and bans. We're not going to introduce ZC because we already know them. I feel like the artwork is ready, so we're going to look at the artwork happening right now.
I think there we go. We have our artwork.
Courtesy of Agnia. Big shout outs. I did read the caption on this one. Again, this is Pirate Radio First Officer, and also brought the shades from when me and Nell were able to use shades in Call of the Abyss 4. So again, amazing artwork, guys. Keep them coming in. Use the hashtag so that we'll be able to give you a big shout out. So a big shout out to Agnia. Agnia right there. You can follow her on Instagram. Please do. She posts amazing artwork. So big shout outs to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent job there from Agnia for that First Officer. I don't draw because I'm terrible. So that's
we talk.
That's really bad. We can see this artwork that people do, and we can just wish that we had any sort of artistic skills at all, but well, at least I don't. So that's excellent job there. I think we might have another one as well, possibly.
I don't know if we're gonna see it now or probably after the next
maybe
one?
Later. Yeah,
just waiting.
Saving it for later, I think.
We might save that for later. So probably the game intro again. TGang, a team from the Philippines going up against ZC. I'm excited to see how they're going to fare, especially when ZC coming off of a match like that. Just to take note, ladies and gentlemen, they want teams really want as much points as possible because we are going to get the top two of each group. And if it comes down to ties, we're going to go into like the scores from the matches itself. So it's really important to get as much points as possible. So keep cheering on ZC. Nell was able to talk to them. They are going to be playing once again here for an exhibition match up against TGangS, and it seems like we are going back to Ever Sleeping Town, while TGangS will be the survivors.
Absolutely. That's something I had a question. So for players from the Philippines, Poch, what do you know what the usual like ping is for those players?
Well, it's around 150. I'd have to say.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We live and die by the 150. But then we did test with Scouts. Shout out to Scouts and NM. I think the highest it went was like 130. So we'll see how this one's gonna go. Again, it's a community tournament. There is a strong Philippine community here for Identity 5, and we want to open that up for IVA. So we'll find out.
All right. Looks like we are gonna have Arms Factory. So our band's here.
Oh, it's Arms. Okay.
Yeah, Arms Factory. So this would definitely benefit ZC more because Bloody Queen is stronger on arms, but now here it's actually a similar situation because now Bloody Queen could get banned, and now you're forced onto Breaking Wheel on Arms Factory. So this might actually just be a repeated situation, just on a different map here. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. It looks like I think that's ZC on the Hunter side, right? I believe.
Yes.
And yeah, I think we're going to see Bloody Queen get banned, right? That would probably make the most sense. I'd imagine, ZC again being a Bloody Queen player. So that would definitely make the most sense. No need to eliminate Breaking Wheel here, as it is Arms Factory. So we'll have to see what they have to go with. Maybe there's a third hunter this ZC hunter has that we don't know about. But yeah, if any time, this would be the best time to probably bring it out.
So yeah, ZC does have another hunter. I'm not sure if that one's gonna be the one up to bat, named 7. In the elimination stage, he did bring out the Undead. So Undead here in Arms Factory could be pretty okay. I mean, they got a victory with Undead, but in tournament setting with VCs, yeah, it's and if the team is expecting, they can hard counter it and just go for dungeon, not really get the 4K. So I'm not sure what the ban's gonna be, but we are seeing a ban of Bonbon. So yeah, probably XN having a Bonbon to utilize. Again, Bonbon in this map is a pretty strong ban. So now let's see what XN's going to be banning on the Survivor side, just to see if we can kind of predict who he'll be using.
Yep. So if this hunter does have Bonbon, actually, I'm curious why they didn't have to go with it in the last round. Bonbon would have been probably a little bit stronger against that team. I mean, still in reality, it's a bit of a difficult matchup. But yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, this is a different hunter because I think it was J-Long in the other one, so this is definitely a different hunter. So
this is the other.
But I 100% agree that Bonbon beats out BQ in more, well, especially if you get with camping and chasing, because you're not so reliant on the mirrors. But yeah, just mobility would be his downfall if ever. But yeah, so let's if a Bonbon gets banned here in Arms Factory, what are the other choices for XN to utilize?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Arms Factory, you can play pretty much every hunter on this map, with probably the exception of Breaking Wheel. So,
right.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see what. Again, we don't know too much about this, but we'll have to see what their other hunter options are here. And yeah, I don't know. Just waiting on the Survivor bands. It looks like should have those in shortly. It looks like we're gonna have Acrobat. Oh no, maybe
look like an Acrobat. I'm looking at the profiles now. XN actually has one of your the Netherwalker clown skin, by the way, as his profile picture. So I don't know if that's telling in Arms Factory. Like you said, all hunters are good here, but first round, I think you definitely want to stick to the meta. I'm not sure, but we are seeing a seer ban, so definitely might be gearing towards those single hit hunters.
Actually, now that I think about it, Clown's actually kind of terrible on this map too. So,
dude, the corners are too tight.
Yeah, we're gonna see Mechanic and Mercenary, which is actually two characters that don't really get locked in at all. You actually see Mercenary getting locked in a lot less these days. We've seen Patient Acrobat be more common, but we did have an Acrobat nerf as well, so I guess that could make sense here. And back to our maybe not Mercenary and
maybe not. Again, we gotta be on your toes here. Priestess
on arms? No. Oh wait, no. Take that back.
All right, we're just being on our toes here. But for now, I just want to give some shout outs to everyone that's joining us in the chat. Again, if you guys, wherever you guys are joining us, if it's dinner time, breakfast, lunch, just get some food, get some water, stay chill. Again, there's IVA community, IVA May. So again, being graced by the presence of Eli O here, he's burning the midnight oil here for us. So give him some love, guys. Follow him on YouTube as well if you're not subscribed to him just yet.
Yeah, it looks like okay, mercenary and mechanic. There we go. Yeah, two characters you don't see get taken early. Mechanic's not a character that's banned very often anymore. So yeah, curious decision from the survivors. This gives an option for a patient or acrobat ban here. I would imagine probably gonna be the case, unless they're worried about a forward. But if forward's not locked in, I don't think there's any threat of a forward. There's no reason to take mercenary over forward. So I think we'll probably see patient or acrobat being the second ban here. Yeah, again, it still begs the question: what hunter are you playing here? If you are the ZC hunter, we're not quite sure, obviously, but yeah, mechanic here is interesting. Mechanic's obviously there if you're in a situation where you want to go for a draw. And mechanic also can actually be a win survivor against a bloody queen. If you force out 2 mirrors as a mechanic with bot in play, and then plus a couple body blocks in the late game, the Cypher Rush is easily enough for survivors to actually win. So, because bloody queen can struggle against, as long as bot doesn't get sniped by any sort of mirrors, you're just in a winning position overall. So, yeah, maybe that's something they're gearing up for as well, or maybe they're just gearing up for a sculptor because, again, mechanic can be very strong against that sculptor.
Oh yeah. If ever you keep that bot safe, like you highlighted, and if the person piloting the mechanic is Kimberly, it just has strong kiting capabilities, and also the rest of the survivor lineup. They can go for a support heavy lineup here with stunners. Like you said, the forward is still available, if not banned. But as I say that, caster's curse, forward gets banned. So now the last two survivors on TGang will be decided in a bit, ladies and gentlemen. And also, this is actually like a fusion of teams. This is Code Black, you have Victory Gang, you got Scouts, all in one team. So big shout outs to the PH team, one of the PH team. Wow, double decoder with a prisoner. Again, this is an exhibition match. We have to also put that up. This is an exhibition match and a gardener. I saw your PC, like, this is an exhibition match. We gotta highlight that. Yeah. Maybe they want to try out some metas here, try out some different tactics. But wow, Gardener, give me your thoughts. Let's try to break this lineup down.
Yeah, the only character Gardener's like kind of good against is like maybe kind of Bloody Queen, but there's just better characters. So
the shield.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know a lot of the time when I try to make tier lists, and there's a lot of people who are like, oh my god, you're so wrong. Gardner's such a good character against Bloody Queen.
You're not seeing potential. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, then I'd rather just play Perfumer at that point or something.
That's true.
Probably play Magician at that point, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Magician is like the new Perfumer now. Yeah, that's good.
So I don't know. Yeah, Gardner. Yeah, I mean, again, just an exhibition. I don't think we'd see this in a real competitive tournament situation. But
the prisoner kind of snapped me back. Like, yes, this is an exhibition match. Again, TGangS gets a victory because unfortunately, Predators couldn't make it due to technical difficulties. So yeah, this is a very quick match heavy lineup.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, still waiting on the Hunter. Actually, again, very curious to see. We're gonna see Violinist. All right. Okay. Yeah, good Cypher Rushing team comp. This could be very difficult for the Violinist to actually win, with this sort of decoding. But I think the only situation where Gardner's actually good is if Gardner gets found, like... See, okay, so the reason why, the reason why Gardner is, like, not that good is that, I mean, sure, Gardner, if she gets found first, she can be good, right? Because she can take an extra hit for free. But the problem is a lot of teams are going to be rotating, so by the time Gardner gets found, it's already 50 seconds and the bubble's gone. So, that's really... I mean, if Gardner, for some reason, runs into the Hunter and instantly gets found and hit, then, oh, yay, that's good. But in reality, that's not ideal. So, two Gardeners. Oh.
no, just one Gardener. I'm looking at the lineup already.
Okay, it's one of the... Okay, my bad. Yeah. Imagine we saw two Gardeners. It's an exhibition match. You should be allowed to have two of the same character.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a quick match. Yeah, there's no chairs at all. They're just going to keep dismantling the chairs. Oh, no. Goodness gracious. That's going to be a headache for the Hunter. But, yeah, we are locked. It seems like this is going to be a lock with the type of lineup. And... it seems like, we see two Tide Turners, one on the Mercenary, one on the Mechanic. No Flywheel on this lineup, so it looks pretty good. Coffee with a B badge on the Gardener. by the way. So shout outs to Coffee. I'm excited to see how this, again, it's an exhibition match, ladies and gentlemen. TGangS already gets the win on this one. So again, we're just playing this for fun, and also just to give you guys a little bit of some entertainment before we get into the third match of the day.
Yep. Yeah, violinist, not a character we see very often too, so that's always nice to see that come out here. How this matchup plays out, let's see. I mean, I think obviously you want the Gardener to get found. I guess Gardener's also like not too bad if you have a mechanic. You know, because you know, if Gardener takes that bubble hit, then mechanic still decodes at max efficiency. But again,
true.
Well, why wouldn't you just play psychologist? But you know, so but yeah, again, exhibition. You know, we're just having fun here.
Yeah.
I guess the upside for Gardener.
Can't think too hard.
Yeah, I guess the upside for Gardener is that if you're ever half health, you can just get a bubble and go rescue, and psychologists can't really
That's true.
half health. So
I'm not sure if they're gonna pause or they're not. Okay, there's the pause.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
because they were talking about that in game. They're gonna check some things. But yeah, we're gonna go back to our little casting screen here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's an exhibition match once again. Can't really think too hard. Again, and we want to try to find some pros and cons because people in the chat are going crazy for the Prisoner and the Gardener. Let's actually shine some light on Prisoner because I think the Gardener kind of stole the thunder here in being the surprise pick in this exhibition match. Having Mechanic and Prisoner in this lineup, it's gonna be hard for this violinist to kind of control that Cypher Rush.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Prisoner's really not. I think the big upside for the violinist is that Prisoner's not a great Cypher Rushing character. You don't really get because the biggest issue with Prisoner is that yes, you can send progress to the ciphers, but you're also decoding the one that you're on slower the more progress you send. So you're not in reality you're not really gaining too much from it. I think that's one of the reasons why Prisoner isn't really seen that much in tournaments because you know, while Mechanic can excel with the Cypher Rush, if you're dead as a mechanic, you still have the bot. Whereas with Prisoner, if you're dead, you're not doing anything beneficial. So we are going to see Violinist going towards Shaq here, trying to find the survivor in the back of Ruins. Let's see which survivor it actually is. I can't quite see here, but
if we can lower the screen, yeah, I think it's Daichi. So geez, I think that's the mechanic, but like she is hiding pretty well. So now just lower the screen so we can make it bigger. Thank you. There we have it. Okay, perfect. Now we're in business. Oh yeah, Daichi now dropping the bot in this area, so now rotating away, getting XN's attention. At least the body's away from that bot, and at least it is safe.
Yeah, a mechanic is actually it may seem good for the hunter. It's actually really good for the survivors because again, we talk about Prisoner being a character. Yeah, we talk about Prisoner being a character. While you're down as Prisoner, you're pretty much useless. You know, you can't use your ability. You can't promote Cypher Rush. We do see that dodge of that note there. Camps the pallet. Oh, swings at the pallet and gets the hit. But yeah, as Mechanic, if Mechanic goes down, it's okay because you know, bot's in play, so you're still decoding at max efficiency. Prisoners, the big key is that Prisoner's still out, and he's able to continue to use his ability. So that's kind of the big strength here. We're gonna see him take a route towards Factory. You know, now noticing a survivor is there and is going to change targets, or not change targets, but change kiting routes towards middle here.
Wow.
Beautiful note from the violinist to get the down, but yeah, bot's still in play. Cypher Machine already down. Prisoner out with that full efficiency of decoding, trying to drag to basement as well. This is a really long, you know, take here for the violinist. Can they make it?
Yeah, we're gonna see, but he's gonna try to go for the first chair. And like you said, this is all good. Mechanic's doll is safe. Now they're gonna start to pop some ciphers. XN bring the peepers here just to have some vision on who's gonna go for that rescue. Mercenary already finished his cipher, and now he can go for the rescue. So Mercenary's first half job has been done, and now it's Kimberly trying to make their way. But now XN spotting him early out here is gonna be hard for him to enter this this basement rescue.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Yeah, I think in a lot of situations you may not go for rescue or survivors, but again, this is one of those matches you might as well try and push for that here. We see 3 stacks of notes on the Mercenary, which makes it very difficult. He's gonna go for the drop down. Does get the drop down hit as well, and has these notes available. Will he go for the note? He's gonna take the double hit after half rescue. So while the position was really good for the survivors, all of a sudden, right back into the violinist's favor here with that double hit after half save. You know, really goes to show the power of that basement. Is able to get the hit on the Mercenary, And
wow, mercenary
did not get the
again.
hit. Yeah, I did not get the hit on the mechanics, so that's going to keep them alive a little bit longer here.
Yeah, mercenary will be falling down. Mechanic stall is still pretty healthy, but like you said, it's already past half. So Daichi's gonna have to make this last nice avoidance of the skill there. Now XN forced to break this this pallet while Daichi's still dropping down these pallets, just creating some distance, but it might be inevitable here. We do see that he is being slowed down one swing and he will be falling down, and Daichi does fall down. XN has his first survivor out of this game once the mechanic hits that chair.
Yeah, we're going to see Mechanic being eliminated. Mercenary down on the ground as well. The last Cypher should be almost done here because of this, that bot being out because of Prisoner's Cypher Rush. You see that Factory Cypher about 60% of the way down as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go towards Deep Sandbags. I believe this is the Prisoner, right? If I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it looks like it is going to be, his next chase target, which is a really good find. Prisoner's the next best, the next easiest target to chase here. You don't have to worry about any sort of extra bubbles from Gardner. You don't have to worry about the Prisoner promoting that, connecting those last two Cypher machines if he is getting chased. So yeah, if he's able to find Prisoner, that could be strong, but he doesn't see the Prisoner here. So he's going to go ahead and go back to Factory. Two survivors in that area, but it is Mercenary with elbow pads. It is Gardner with a potential Factory kiting area. Gardner's actually going to run away from Factory, but it actually works. He only sees the Mercenary.
Yeah, so Kimberly just getting out of dodge while Coffee still providing that tinnitus. I think he's going to have to be very careful not run too deep on that last Cypher since Code Farabi is the one to try and pop that. Can he pop it in time? It's actually real close, but no, forced to be chased away here because XN, you cannot afford to chase get hit by a fully fed violinist. Now we see that the notes are hitting, slowing down this Prisoner, while we see that the Mercenary over at Factory side can pop that Cypher. Nice avoidance and also using the skill of this Prisoner. Can he get back in the pallet in time? Has to eat that hit, drops the pallet down. XN realizing that someone probably is already priming that Cypher, so he's gonna have to make this note count.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. He's using a lot of peepers to try to pressure these Cyphers, which means he's going to go for that note, and they're not. Oh, they go for the pop anyways, and they get the down. Yeah, Prisoner eating that note there was really, really important for the violinist. Again, something to keep in mind, he used a lot of peepers to drop on those Cypher machines, which means he doesn't have a trade swap available until this next peeper completely recharges. So, that's kind of a bit of aggressive play from the violinist, and it's not really working too strong. He drops another one, so if he did have trump card, it's no longer going to be an option, at least not for a while. So we'll see him go ahead, and I believe that is the Gardner. Yeah, he does have trump card, so dropping that peeper there, a bit of a misstep from the violinist, so now he cannot teleport, he cannot even switch to blink if he wants to get an instant down here. But is going to go for that Gardner here, trying to get them down as quickly as possible, and she does run into him, and he should be able to get this down right here.
There you go. Yeah, right when she was vaulting again, drops some 2 notes, drops another peeper because he wants to be able to guard Farabi in expiring here since the Mercenary is going to go. So excellent Hunter instincts on XN. Peeper's probably activating already, and we see that the Mercenary, Kimberly, has to be very careful because this violinist does have detention. He does have an elbow. Oh, no more elbow pads to utilize. So Kimberly kind of caught in the open here. XN can go for this downed Mercenary because that is a detention hit. Kimberly is going to have to run all the way back to the exit gate. Not even sure if Kimberly was able to even open that exit gate. So XN doing a great cleanup here while the Prisoner will be expiring. So this does look like a 4K.
Yeah, it's able to get that note there. Gardner can still get back up, but we'll see. I mean, the problem is that, there's a peeper on them. So even if they get up, Violin's able to see the direction that they're going. Now there is 3 peepers available, which means he can easily switch to teleport as well. Will he opt to do that, or is he going to go ahead and walk? He's going to go ahead and walk over here. He can easily just trump card into something like Blink and just secure the down on the Gardner once found here. So, yeah, as you mentioned, 4-person elimination intact here, which is kind of a surprise. Double decoder, especially with Mechanic being, hidden for a while, it made it very difficult for the Violence to come back, but that double hit on the Mercenary really did make the difference, and just such a strong endgame for this Violinist as well is going to put him in a winning position.
Yeah, and now we see that able to get the shield going on here, but it's only a matter of time because again, detention hit or not, a single hit will make this Gardner fall down, and it was the ult that was able to make her fall down, securing the 4K on the side of X. And what an exhibition match! A lot of people in the chat showing some love to the character diversity, having a Prisoner in the mix, having a Gardner in the mix, and also Antonio, a violinist. We rarely see violinists here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just nice to see. This is why we play these matches. This happens. This actually happens sometimes in tournaments as well when you get in those that third round situation where you go into the last half of the round and the points don't matter because you've already secured a win or something like that. It's always nice to see something like that and also happening. In some way that's also happening here. So yeah, it's really nice to see that. We see Prisoner, Gardner, two characters you're pretty much never going to see in tournament coming out here. And you see Violinist again, a character you're just never really going to see in tournament coming out to being utilized again. Such a strong start for the survivors, but that basement so crucial. And again, I think in a normal tournament situation, the mercenary just wouldn't even rescue that. But in that situation, might as well try, see what you can do, and whatever happens.
Yeah, it was an exhibition match. They played it to their full effect, and yeah, just spotting out the mercenary early on already kind of gave signs to all right, it's gonna be kind of risky to go for that rescue. He was so on point with the drop down hits, but you got to give it up to the survivor side, especially Kimberly. Even though she did get the rescue at past half, she was still able to body block a drop down hit and a regular hit for the mechanic to get out of that to get out of the basement. And when she was out of the basement, she kind of bought some time outside the factory area. So again, it was a scrambly back and forth, but ultimately it was ZC's Hunter to lead the charge here and get that 4K. So I mean, after the match they had with Noir, I'm pretty sure now they're all warmed up, especially the survivor side. So yeah, I think the Hunter on TGangS side, TG's side, Ozpine will definitely have his handful. He did use a sculptor in the elimination phase, but I do know that a sculptor on this map. I know that you're not the biggest fan of sculptor on this map too.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just not the best because there's a lot of ways to easily break line of sight. All the transition areas between the kiting places are very open. Between shack to 3 pallet, factory to 3 pallet, 3 pallet to sandbag, stuff like that. But sculptor, it's a very versatile hunter. It's a hunter that can be used effectively to an extent on every map. Where something like Breaking Wheel you really can't. Like, you can't use Breaking Wheel on Arms Factory for the most part. It's hard to use Breaking Wheel on Church. Whereas Sculptor, she's not too strong on something like Moonlit or Lakeside. She's not too strong on something like Arms Factory, but it definitely still is fine to play that sort of hunter on pretty much any map in reality.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot workable because we've seen matches on Arms Factory where you do see like a wheel, and it's just so tough for them to even try to down these survivors, especially early on, and they're in such a strong part of the map, even with Church. So yeah, definitely the hunter on TGangS side would definitely have his hands full. Can use the sculptor, but I have a feeling that I'm sure that ZC might get an inkling on what to ban, so they might actually ban out the sculptor, leaving him open for other hunters, which again in Arms Factory you can make other hunters work. Probably not the pollen, like you mentioned. It's pretty tough to even try to utilize pollen in this map, especially with a lot of windows, a lot of tiny areas, unless your driving's really on point. So we'll just have to see. Again, ZC survivors didn't have the best time up against the Gamekeeper, so I'm sure that they're all warmed up and ready to go up against TGangS. And again, reiterating, this is an exhibition match, so yeah, this is just for the fun. So we might see some interesting characters. So Eli, exhibition match, which I think they're taking requests. Who do you want to see?
I don't know. I think I actually would like to see Arms Factory Breaking Wheel, even though it's terrible.
That's true. Okay,
that'd be fun to actually watch. Yeah, I don't know. Hunters besides that. Maybe we could see. I
want to see a sad clown.
Yeah, maybe we should see Geisha. I've been playing Geisha.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
Or Monokuma Bonbon. That's also
Monokuma. Specifically, if it's not Monokuma, he doesn't want to see it.
No, it doesn't count. Yeah. I don't know who else. I played a Feaster match today, so that would be
Feaster in Arms would be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah,
especially if it's exhibition.
Yeah. I don't know what other hunters are in this game. Clown. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Clown on this map. You just said that it was
terrible.
Terrible.
But it's exhibition. Anything.
Right. That's true. True. If we're not gonna put the competitiveness, yeah. If we're gonna go competitive, I definitely want to see an evil reptilian. If ever we're gonna try to go with just character representation. What about on the survivor side? Is there any survivor that you want to see?
Let's see. Entomologist. Let's see some entomologists.
Hey, okay.
What else have I been playing recently? I've been playing a little bit of Explorer, but only for photos. If we get so if I'm playing a ranked match, and I see Seer Mechanic specifically banned, right? Seer Mechanic. Those are the most common bans for photos. So if I see Seer Mechanic, I'm like, okay, there's a pretty good chance it might be a photo. So let's just play Explorer, because Explorer can just instantly pop a cipher before photo world ends. So you know, good against photo. And I wouldn't play Doctor because that's just scary. If I ever if it's anything other than a photo, we lose. So it's not worth it. But yeah, true. Explorer. Maybe we'll see Explorer. I don't know. Anything's possible.
Explorer in this map, I'm excited because it can go really well and it can go not so well. So again, you got to live and die by that 50-50, that luck game. But it doesn't seem like it's Ozpine. Sorry, it's a different hunter on the side of TGangS. I don't know how to read that, but that's Mastos. So let's just call him TGang Hunter. Again, super excited to see who he'll be bringing out. And it seems like they're very willing to just kind of go with off-meta picks because double decoder plus gardener. We have a violinist, and a best of one. So hopefully they still lean into the whole exhibition fun of it all, because I definitely want to see like character variety here.
Yeah, absolutely. Magician, that was another one that came to mind.
Magician. Okay. All right, chat. Put your thinking hats. Put your thinking hats on here. Oh, shout outs to Joggy as well. If you guys want to be able to like see any of these some survivors, it's an exhibition match. Let us know in the chat, and also let us know how much points you lost, because I lost a lot because I betted on Predator, but unfortunately, circumstances are that it's quite unfortunate that there were some technical difficulties. So we shall move on. The show must go on. ZC versus TGangS here in this exhibition match. Just waiting on the picks and bans. Actually, just waiting for them to allow the hunter in, because you can look at the lower left side of the screen if you're watching NTT's screen. You can see the picks and bans. Well, you can see the screen. They're about to get ready for the games. The room.
Which new characters allowed? Is Professor allowed here or no?
Professor is not allowed here. It's up until Little Girl and Novelist.
Okay, Little Girl. No. Okay, so Novelist.
That would be crazy if Professor. Yeah, did your perception of Professor change? Because I know this start you're like, all right, like I'll try it out. I think that was the reaction I got from you when he was announced.
Yeah. He's still like. He's good against certain hunters still. He's a little bit better than I originally thought, but he's still kind of like struggles against some characters. In NAU, there's been a lot of everyone's playing Professor. Everyone's also playing Barmaid because of the new Barmaid skin, which is actually kind of frustrating because they do it in rank, and then it's just like, well, Barmaid in rank. Oh no. So I don't know, but yeah. As for Professor, yeah, I mean he's actually ended up being a little bit stronger than originally thought. You know, being able to drop skills around the map as well. The survivors can actually use the Professor's ability for themselves. Actually, is pretty. I don't know
if any tournament moderators are listening to us. Since this is an exhibition match, why don't we allow the Professor? Right? Like it's an exhibition match, right? Yeah. Right, chat. Are we making sense here? Please let us know. If
accessories too, so they can back.
Yeah, exactly. That's the real strategy, right? Just be able to
drop all their frames and they can't even play.
Exactly. That's the meta. Hey, just exploiting the mechanics, not the rules. But yeah, I definitely want to see how incompetitive it can be. Yeah, so I don't think I don't know. Again, I have to look at the rules. I don't know if Clerk's even allowed. No, I guess she's not. Kind of new. That would be cool if she was though.
Clerk for this round.
That would be fun. Yeah, it would be fun if the hunter gets Clerk and like the survivor can pick up the Professor. That would be cool.
Yeah, we should actually. It should just be like, let's just have 2 little girls, 2 professors, and a person with Clerk. I think that's fun. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be such a nightmare. It'll be fun to cast. I won't lie. Like that's gonna be fun to definitely watch and cast. We just have to wait. Picks and bans. I am a toes. Emma toes. Like,
yes.
Is that the gardener toes? All right.
I am Emma.
I am a toes.
I think it's I am Emma's toes.
I am Emma's toes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like
Interesting.
they are Gardner's. Is it Gardner?
Toes.
Gardner's toes. Yeah.
Toes. Oh, all right.
I think, maybe? I don't know.
What's the funniest IGN you've seen?
Man, see in NAU there's that's
You get a lot of
that's the
funny
thing.
IGN.
You get a lot of them. There's some I can't say on stream because it's
Okay,
not
please
very
don't.
mature. I think the most mature one that I've seen that's well, I wouldn't say mature at all, but I don't know. I think that there's a lot of just like people that just like name themselves after characters or something.
Ooh, okay.
There's a lot of like I Heart Aesops and stuff.
I simp Niab, yeah.
Yeah,
or any of the hunters.
Naiad
Yeah, that's. Then you immediately, if you're the hunter, like, let me try to go Naiad and see if like they'll be nice, right?
Yeah. That
That's
comes up
good.
a lot. Well, NAU in particular, a lot. Everyone loves to mess around with the names. So, I think that's probably. Yeah, I mean, there's that's not anything. I mean, there's some really, really bad ones that obviously I can't say, but it's just a lot of that. There's a lot of that definitely going around. So.
Yeah. Well, I am Emma Toes. Emma Stones. Emma Toes. I don't know. My dyslexia is kicking in. So we're just gonna wait. I know there was one here a known player in Identity 5 Southeast Asia is Sugar Daddy. So that's a very interesting name. Yeah.
We saw what was that one Korean player from COA?
Oh, I'm so sexy.
Yeah, I'm supposed to. Yeah.
That's a funny one. Yeah. I mean, you got cool ones too, like Shadow, Heart, right? Ooh, Iron.
Yeah.
What long? Dang, that's cool.
Yeah, and then you just got I'm so sexy.
I'm so sexy, right? And he's like the
Who ended
best
up being
kiter on
one
the
of
team.
Yeah, it ended up being one of the best kiters in the whole tournament. So
That's very true. I would say, was there any survivor in Call of the Abyss or any player in particular that stood out for you? Because for me, honestly, and there was like a bit of like news going around because AK from FPXEQ, his contract was up, so it was there were a lot of things going. Because for me, I love AK ever since Call of the Abyss 4. Ever since he's not the flashiest but he's so good in synergizing with the team. But how about you?
Yeah, player that stood out. I think there
Jelly
was.
Rescue?
I think that one player Unp on
Unp.
Yeah, ended up
Ooh,
fighting
yeah.
really well. Yeah,
Really good.
that was
Actually, you could. I think in SST, everyone had their shining moments, right? Like Lim had her shining moment. Unp, Kazuneko. There's just a lot on SST side. You heard that they disbanded, right?
Yeah, I know their contracts. I think a lot of some of them are going over to Zeta, who's actually my favorite Japan team. So I'm actually kind of excited about that.
I hope they still kind of stick together though. But you know, they cannot afford to break them up, especially at the height of their power that they are now.
Yeah, I know their I think their contracts all expired or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I think my favorite match from COA is probably the one where SST like made really bad plays and threw really hard, and then they still won. You remember the breaking on Red Church?
I think I do. Where it was just like going all over the place, and you're like, I don't even know this game anymore. You're like, this is so bad.
I was like, I give up. It's over. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And then they end up still winning, and I'm just like, when did anyone decode? I didn't see anyone touch a cipher the whole game. Like, I don't understand.
There's no main decoder, right? Like, what was going on? There were 3 survivors in the screen. Don't tell me the priestess was able to pop 3 ciphers in one go. I was watching that. I think that was you and Grizzly. Like, it was against Wolves. Yeah, it was Alex, right? And then it was like, what's going on here? And then I just saw like you just threw your hands up, like, yeah, you know, I don't know this game anymore. This is insane.
I mean, I think what happened was like, the prospector force healed at 3 ciphers and got terror shocked, and then I was like, okay, well, SST lost. That's what I thought in my head when I was commentating the match. I'm like, I remember. I think Grizzly was talking, and I was like sitting there watching, and then I saw them do that, and I just made a face. I was just like, what is happening? Like thinking in my head, and then I just see them still win, and I was like, okay, I don't understand this. I don't know why I played it. I don't understand what's going on anymore.
Yeah,
so
I'm just gonna give me a napkin and a fork. I'm gonna eat my words with what happened. I apologize to SST for doubting their ability, but to be honest, if you just showed the first half of that match, you're like, yeah, that's a done deal for Alex. He's definitely gonna get the 4K. They were able to get a 3K, and that's what. And then Wolves needed to tie it, right? And that's when Alf went Bonbon. And that's when the jelly rescue happened, and that's where Tide Turner looked so OP, where it's like, I'm a survivor main, but Tide Turner was too good there, and he was able to just dash towards the dungeon.
The interesting thing with that match is Alf actually can actually, as a Bonbon, you can secure a drop from that position.
How?
What you do is you drag the survivor to the corner, and then you do the drop trick with the bombs, where you put down a 10-second and you put down a 1 second after it gets down to like 4. So then it goes down to 4, and then you put one at 5, and then you pick them up and then you drop them as the bomb runs out. So they take one bomb hit, take a chip, and then the other one blows up 1 second later, and then it kills them immediately. And you just keep recycling that over and over until they just like bleed out or something from it. And it takes forever, but the survivors eventually just have to leave, and you can just keep doing it over and over. And there's nothing you can do. Also, he could have just taken him to basement. I actually don't know why he didn't do that as well.
Was
I think
basement in a church, or was it in the shack?
It was in shack.
Oh, he was there. He was there.
Yeah, he could have done. He could have taken it. I think he was worried that they somehow still make a rescue and make it to the back gate, but with Tide, which actually don't know the timing on that. I never actually tested that. I have to test that. But yeah, he could have easily just dragged him to the bottom broken corner and just cycled the bomb drop trick. So. I don't know. I guess he got a little impatient.
I think. Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? We see it in 2020 because we're not holding the phones, or like we don't have the controls. So, yeah, I think with the resources he had, he thought that was the best possible outcome. But looking back, could have changed it. Yeah. And let's head into the picks and bans here. Ban of the Little Girl. Interesting choice on the side of the Hunter here. I am Mema's Toes. Shout outs to Afu Nation here. What's that? That did say legit thought I'm so sexy with Seiyun before. Well, that's the thing, right? It's good that we were able to see these. We all know IGNs, but now, like, that's what's so cool about COA. At least they had the Korean team fly out, so you like to get to see the big personalities. Yeah. I think you and me thought I thought people thought me and Nell were one person, so we're not.
We're gonna see Prospector as well, so
let's go.
We see Little Girl and Prisoner band, which is that's just troll bands, I imagine. But
and a toy merchant. Let's go on this map.
Worst map for merchant, but you know what? It's still. Oh, we're gonna see Anne. Okay, actually, wait. This is one that I did want to see. I didn't actually mention that, but I love Anne, so this is good to see that come out.
Yeah, actually, this is a pretty strong. Well, for Anne, this is a strong map for her. Looking at also the survivors, yeah. Well, Toy Merchant, I don't think she has good like in this map. Yeah, you can't really feel her fly, right? There's no change of levels here. You could definitely stop the dash of that forward with the cat. Prospector can harass, and Mercenary is always a nightmare to chase. But yeah, it's looking like Emma's Toes is looking to get a lot of survivors here.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what they're able to do. This is I mean, Toy Merchant's a pretty easy chase for an Anne, but everything else is difficult. I mean, you don't want to chase forward a Mercenary, really. I mean, you can technically chase forward, but realistically, you don't want to have to do that. Mercenary, you can't chase at all. Prospector counters Anne, is one of the best kiters for going against Anne. And then Toy Merchant here, again, doesn't really make any sense at all, but it is an exhibition match, so we're probably just gonna have fun with that one.
Let's look at the builds. Hang on, let me bring up. Okay, so everyone seems to be kiting except the Sky, who seems to bring Tide Turner. Yeah, again, you definitely want to chase the Toy Merchant first and foremost, unless you got the Prospector and the forward just harassing you. Looking pretty good for Emma's Toes. So let's see how this one's going to pan out. We're about to head into the next match, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is an exhibition match. Again, just for fun, just for representation. I hope you guys are doing well. So let's go into the Arms Factory. Just still loading because we're in PH. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I just have to make my cords. So, unfortunately, the router for my Wi-Fi is like really, really far away. But I have a 100-foot long Ethernet cable that connects all the way from the other side of the house upstairs all the way to the basement across the entire house. Okay, here we go. So we do have the front gate spawn from the
You're
end.
basically the prisoner, bro. That's how you're connecting.
Exactly, yeah. It's gonna go ahead and go towards middle. Let's see which survivor is in the area. Is that the toy merchant? Can't quite see it. No, it looks like it is mercenary. So definitely not the ideal chase target here. Mercenary used an elbow pad a little bit prematurely there, but I think the end will probably just go ahead and leave, or actually commit to the mercenary. Wow, this
what
is,
I tell you, we don't know this game. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know what's happening.
We're just here to enjoy. But yeah, it seems like now she chooses to not leave, drop a
What's that
cat.
mercenary?
Yeah, really wants the mercenary again. This mercenary again prematurely is the elbow pad. Still, has 2 left, and now uses the vault here. Still providing that that distance. Also brought confined space, so probably top down build. Teleport as well in a small map like this might be useful, but let's see. Probably just waiting on the right time to utilize that. But Sky in a good spot here, just dodging the cats left and right, and that cat, yeah, not really chasing the mercenary. So the mercenary now can transition to the factory.
Yeah, and should just teleport away here. You don't want to keep chasing mercenary, and we are going to see them teleport. I'd imagine they had quenching effect as well. Yeah, so they probably did. So they able to look at the merchant, but merchant already with the catapult set up, they're able to get themselves all the way to factory, which is a really good kiting area. I'm going to call it right here. This is probably a win for the survivors. I don't see how Anne can actually come back here. Again, merchant's a pretty easy chase, but factory is just so difficult for Anne because it's one of the very few places where you can actually just kite out cats for free. Because you have those really strong windows to work with. You have the God Palette, which I actually think it would have been better for the survivor to save that God Palette for later once they get catted again. But it looks like we're going to see them transition toward him. Oh, does pick up the cat as well. Is he able to get the pallet, but gets the stun, but and swings at the wall, which means that they can actually kite out the rest of this cat.
Yeah, and note that Yumiko actually, Nell just gave us a heads up that Yumiko is a toy merchant main and also Oxygen. One of the top gamekeepers, but now able to eat that cat and now eats that hit. Yumiko takes the first hit of the game. We do see that 3 ciphers still remain. The cat, tried to jump there, but there was some obstruction, and now Yumiko being very careful. Just trying to plant, and now can she get on? Wow, excellent jukes and able to avoid the hit there.
Yeah, Anne's gonna go ahead and take the time to break this here, and just gonna continue after this toy merchant forward already in the area to support, though. Does land that cap, but it's not really going to matter. Forward can potentially stun this, and probably doesn't even have to. The merchant should be able to just kite this out, forcing that pallet break as well. We're going to see them cancel that cats. Merchant going to go ahead and vault this, trying to stay alive as long as possible. Again, forward just in here to support. Next time the end goes for our cats, we're going to see the forward probably try to stun, or just stun now, giving even more distance for this to the toy merchant.
So yeah, see, trying to break that line of sight, but now just got his attention completely. Goes for another stun, just buying some time for this toy merchant to get away because she doesn't have that much resources to utilize. The catapults are done. She could throw an elbow pad if she wants to, but we do see that it is the forward that is taking this kite now. We do see he's transitioning away from the sandbags area and now back to the factory. No more pallet there to utilize, but note that the dungeon is here, unable to get that. And look, just the presence that they're leaving this Anne is. She's starving for more presence and now able to use another teleport and now actually straight towards I think that's, the mercenary, the first target of the game.
Yeah, mercenary, again, not a great chase target. Still has elbow pads and still can take many hits with that delayed effect as well. We're seeing him go for that cat. Mercenary is going to take the cat, but again, this is a position where you can't get the stun on the survivor. They have that pallet, they have that window. Doesn't matter what the end does, they're not going to be able to get that. We're going to see him go ahead and cancel this ability, which means he doesn't have elbow pads, but he does have this pallet, and he's able to get there. A beautiful move from the mercenary, not getting hit by that. But actually, mercenary taking an interesting route. He's going to go run in the open instead of staying at the pallets, and that forces him to actually expend an extra elbow pad, which is not something you really want to have to do here. But again, Anne still has no presence, which means she does not have that cross available.
Yeah. Drops a magnet here just to allow Sky to get to a stronger part in this map, and the prospector is going to help with the harassment here. We do see that the cipher is already primed. Now more cats. Again, this is an excellent showcase of what ZC's survivors are capable of. Goes for the stun here, but stun for stun, Eli. Cat and magnet, and now prospector eats that hit. Going for the pop already, so hopefully I am Emma's Toes can get at least one survivor because the tension is in the air.
Yeah, we're gonna see him go for that cat here, trying to find someone to hit. He does actually have his presence now. which means they can use that cross here. But Prospector, a counter to Ann. If they utilize this properly, they will have no problem kiting this out, and Ann's forced to pick up the magnet here. Going to go for the X-Gate instead. It looks like this is the forward who still has some football available, which means they could, still potentially kite to dungeon here. We'll see what they're able to do, get that speed boost. Probably going to use a football here. No, tries to dodge the cat. Is going to take it. He needs to use his football before he gets that stun off, and he is able to get it off just in time. But maybe Ann can still catch up here. Is there a pallet to work with?
Yeah.
There is not, and the Ann can actually just get it down.
Wow.
Oh, but misses the hit.
Beautiful performance by WCW, and now we see that he picked up the elbow pads, and we do see that the Prospector is here to harass and try to give him safe passage, but now has a cat on him, able to boost him away, and now a trade for trade. He does have another magnet. He dropped one, but another cat just nullifying this skill, while the forward and the toy merchant are already there. So it is Ann that is separating the Prospector, breaks the pallet, and now still is hugging the walls here. Now he's going to do some cleanup here. Toy Merchant and forward are out. Mercenary already opening up an exit gate, and you see that the Prospector already running towards that dungeon.
Yeah, absolutely. The back gate about to be open as well. Prospector trying to make that. Does he have a magnet to work with? He gets another one back just now, so he should be able to potentially get there. Oh, he actually misses the... Oh, but the Ann picks it up anyways. So now he's... still has a magnet to work with. Trying to go for this stun here. Maybe will try to wait it out a little bit. Will Ann break the magnet? He can actually get out of range and break the magnet. No, he's going to go for that stun here, but... I think Ann can probably get it down now. Oh, but detention is up. You're right.
That's going to be tough. He can get the hit here, and now allowing him to move away, but can the cat chase him in time? But no, the cross stops there, and now tries to teleport, but unfortunately, the Prospector is out. Mercenary can eat one hit. There's no more detention, but the elbow pad was expended, and ZC wins this exhibition match clean.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 survivor escape there. For ZC. You saw, the Ann. It was a tough situation. I mean, obviously needed all 4 survivors eliminated, and that's just Ann being such a tie hunter is just it's really not the hunter to do that. But of course, it is an exhibition match. This is just for fun. I would imagine we'd probably see these teams use different characters, probably more. More aggressive characters, more heavy kill characters rather than something like Ann. But yeah, we are going to see, of course, sorry, what was the team that
ZC versus TGangS. So TGangS
TGangS gets the win. That's right. Yeah. But we do see ZC winning the exhibition part of this match.
So it's kind of like a moral victory because it was ZC that kind of lost to Noir, but they won the exhibition match. So unfortunately, TGangS doesn't win the exhibition match, but they do get the points and they do get the warm up against ZC. So you know what? In IVA, everyone's a winner here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys also have been putting in your predictions in the Discord of the NM fam IVA because it's a sort of IVA apples of sorts. We do have 2 more matches later today. We have our next match, which is going to be Team BoBo versus Have Fun. I definitely want to be able to expand a little bit on that a little bit later. But for now, you know what? GG's. I'm glad we were able to see an exhibition match, and we saw some very diverse picks.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the beauty of having that exhibition match. We were able to see these fun characters come out, but. I think as this tournament progresses, we're going to go back into what's our more standard characters, especially in our next match. So, we'll have to see what comes out in the next match. But it's always nice to have this, fun match as an opportunity to witness these characters we wouldn't normally be able to see.
Yeah, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the exhibition match. We will be taking a short break. When we return, it's going to be Have Fun versus Team BoBo. So don't go anywhere. More of IVA when we return.
Somebody save me from the past and take to me.
Return to basics. Surrender restraints. Relinquish thyself. Like the eagle plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathe in the spring, we drink, we worship, we indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the vulvar nasal organ. Reptiles' delicate biology is engraved with the mysteries of evolution. Researching them feels like listening to hymns and tracing the steps left by the Creator. But and lies unexpected malice. Is this a cruel joke from the Creator? Or the inconvenient truth of evolution? All but a small price to pay on the path of truth. And as the scales shed, I shall step over the last of my boundaries.
Hello， 大家好，地维和的玩家们，我是浩明。A13人格系统的新求生者教主卢基诺已经和大家见面了，我是他的设计师之一，很高兴这个角色能够得到大家的喜爱。今天就来分享一下这个角色开发幕后的故事。我们呢，在2021年引入了 Identity 人格系统，在这个系统里，所有的角色都是已有角色的一个新的形态。我们希望一些角色能以一个新的形态突破求生者和监管者之间的阵营隔阂，呈现角色更多的可能性。这次新求生者教主卢基诺，他和涅西卢基诺其实是同一个人。在涅西卢基诺的推演故事中，卢基诺教授被神秘的毒蛇咬伤了，他的身体逐渐开始变异。他为了追寻这一条毒蛇之源，来到了庄园。也就是说，每一对 Identity 角色都是基于同一个角色，在同一个故事框架下进行设计的。当然，我们也不会限定这样一对角色它必须是同一个人的概念，也不会限定说每一对角色它都必须在求生者和监管这两个阵营之间相互转换。今年我们将再推出一个新的 Identity 角色，大家敬请期待。其实我们在选角色的时候是想过，涅西这一个监管者他是非常特别的，在我们的游戏里，他是一个追猎者的形象，他是整个蜥蜴的外表有着蜥蜴的鳞片、尖爪、尾巴。这时我们就会好奇，如果我们拿监管者这个涅西卢基诺的形象去做一个求生者，那求生者他长怎么样的呢？之前说过，求生者卢基诺是他受邀来访庄园时的形态。因此呢，我们在设计外形的时候需要兼顾教主卢基诺和涅西卢基诺两者的特征。虽然监管者涅西他是有着蜥蜴和人脸混杂的五官，但是我们还是提取了一些他身上独有的五官的立体感。此外呢，在整个教授卢基诺身上还有一些涅西的鳞片，以及手和指甲会变得更像爪子，让两者有所呼应。最后就诞生出了大家最终看到的教授卢基诺。我们的设计时首先确认了教授的核心技能是围绕反程分析，也就是零偏硬化这个高难度技术展开的。玩家们需要在高度提升的这个过程中，同时留意对方动作，并在瞬间发布实现激活技能。有时候你甚至可以主动靠近监管者来触发零偏硬化的技能效果。 影片硬化可以在板窗交互的过程中使用，避免被后来追击的监管者恐惧震慑。为了进一步加强教授的辅助能力，这样的实验求生者也能反弹攻击的被动技能。以上就是我今天给大家分享的教授五星的开发幕后，希望能帮助玩家们更多了解五星的这个角色。感谢大家喜欢我们的爱恋这个系统，我们后续也会为大家带来更多精心设计的游戏内容，敬请期待哦！再见。
Miss Keo, how was your childhood? Well, at the dinner table, Father said with a smile, "You sure love playing judge, don't you?" And then they wanted me to pursue my own happiness. Of course, so did my brothers. Your brothers? He was not qualified to represent justice. And I won't allow that to happen. Something happened, I suppose. I did what I had to do. Justice needs obedience. Justice needs sacrifice. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. That's all.
Long, long ago, when demons and gods walked amongst humanity, two sisters lived a life of creating fragrances.
All that you desire shall be granted if you bring me a...
been, the best team the most successful team in representing Southeast Asia in COA so far. We have seen BL as well show up there, but GH, I think, overall has ultimately come the closest to, putting up good numbers against these other global teams. So I think that, GH, obviously, one of the best teams in Southeast Asia. So, if you have players from GH on this team, it should be... it's very exciting to watch here. Definitely very excited to see how they're able to play. This other team, BoBo, again, I don't know too much about them, unfortunately, but we'll see what they're able to do.
Some of the members are actually from BL. Quan Lee is in it. But before anything else, let's head on over to the fan art because, again, you guys have graced us with amazing fan arts. And look at this one of Wu Chang. Shout outs to Heywu, at Heywu on Twitter, I think. I can't really read what it says there, but look how beautiful this is and the detail. And one of my favorite Wu Chang skins as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very well done. I'm a Wu Chang player. I play a lot of Wu Chang myself, so it's definitely very nice to see that be done here. And again,
I also envy. I mean, I share the same sentiment, Eli. I cannot draw to save my life. I'm so bad at Pictionary. If we play Pictionary, do not be teammates with me. I'll be very encouraging, but at least we have this amazing community to just give us, just show us and flex these amazing artworks. Again, just use the hashtag IVA. So we'll be able to see your amazing artworks, and shout outs to Heiwu as well as Agnia for showing us what they can offer. So we're gonna have one more artwork, but that'll be after the last, before the last match. But we are going to be heading towards the picks and bans, or are we going to be able to see the picks and bans? So it is going to be have fun at the survivor side, and it is BoBo's Spy. BoBo is the team that won the coin toss, so they did pick Arms Factory.
Yeah, it is gonna be Arms Factory. Let's see what they Optibate here. If they're going Arms Factory, I'd imagine probably well, see, the thing is, typically when you see Arms Factory around one, that's usually indicating you're probably gonna see a Dreamwitch player, but because we have 100 ban, that may not even be an option. So I'm not really sure. I guess it could be Bloody Queen Dreamwitch, something like that. I don't know if you have any more info, Pod.
I was about to say that a Spy did use Guard 26, so that's who they banned right away, leaving open the Dreamwitch. But still, that's a very strong hunter. He did win in the elimination phase in his side. So yeah, very calculated ban on the side of have fun HF. So again, I think this is one of the teams to look out for, since you got Skyfall. You got big names like Skyfall, Little Boy, 9 Mamos. He was mostly relegated as coach in GH, but now he's playing. Does have a mechanic, does have a forward, and Sasolil, another survivor, a well-known survivor, already banning out the forward to start things off on the side of Team BoBo.
Forward band here. Again, interesting. Forward band is a character you typically see mostly for Breaking Wheel. We're gonna see Sierra get locked in here, and the second ban, maybe if you're banning forward here instead of something like Seer, we're gonna see Acrobat as well. If you're seeing forward ban instead of something like Seer, maybe you're gearing up for something like to play Sculptor. But Seer ban still is fine for Sculptor. You can easily just run in the open force of basic and on the Owl. So I think that we're probably gonna see something like a Sculptor here if we are seeing forward being banned instead of that Seer first. I don't think we're gonna see Patient as well, which means that it's still fine for Sculptor. We're not gonna see something like Dreamwitch, I don't think, especially if you're giving Seer here.
Usually like once the Seer gets banned, that's usually a tell that they are going to go for that Dreamwitch. But it's not afraid of the Owl here. It makes me think it's also going to be a double damage hunter, a Sculptor being one of them. Now we see a Little Boy locking in that Postman as well as Sasolil. I'm not sure if they're going to switch that up and maybe it's Skyfall on the Rescuer, because he's the main Rescuer. He does have a really good Mercenary and Gravekeeper, but we're just gonna have to find out and wait and see who the hunter will be. It is Sculptor, like you predicted. Again, I think they kind of played this one to the T here, so still up in the air. But based on these picks and bans and also the map, do you favor any side right now, Eli?
This comp is pretty good for Sculptor. So again, this is why you really want to ban Seer. Obviously giving forward is not ideal. I guess if you're going against a team with a strong forward player, getting rid of that first is fine. But I think it benefits, and I guess Patient ban is fine, forcing Mercenaries in the end of the world. I don't know. This comp is pretty good for the survivors here. Again, Seer Owl can force an extra hit there. Acrobat is very good. Kiter Postman is actually a good kiter against Sculptor as well, because again, countering ship hunters is all about transition kiting, and Postman can open that up as an option, using the dog to slot on the Sculptor. So that's going to definitely come into play here. We also have the decoding letter as well. Sculptor is, after that nerf, it's going to become a tie hunter and less of a win hunter. So you don't really have as much win potential anymore. So I think that, giving that decoding letter out there, promoting that Cypher Rush is going to be very strong for survivors as well. So it's just overall, I think this comp definitely benefits survivors more than the Sculptor, especially because it is Arms Factory as well, which makes it even more difficult for this hunter. But we'll have to see how it works out for BoBo spot.
Yeah, something to note also on that Postman, Little Boy, one of the best kiters in the game, in the team of GH. So he's going to be a really slippery target, especially if he does be spotted out first. We are going to note that Tide Turner was brought by the Acrobat and the Mercenary, where the rest did bring Broken Windows. So now we see the matchup. Skyfall on that Mercenary, again with the B-Duck skin. But now we see that BoBo transitioning towards the shack area, while Skyfall just hanging around the middle part of this map. So now we see that yeah, Spy will try to find his first target in the shack area.
Yeah, we're going to see the Insolence Detention build as well. So this is probably with Blink. There's no... I don't think we're going to see teleport because...
lower the screen, maybe? So we could
lower the screen, possibly see that. I don't think we're going to see teleport because it is, of course, it's here on the team. You need that Blink to help with that first chase. And yeah, looking at that countdown, it's probably Blink. We are going to see him still looking for a target, spending a lot of time over near the deep sandbags, or over near the gate area. Does catch on the sight of the Acrobat here. Is going to go ahead and vault that window. No speed boost, as you mentioned. Tide Turner for Acrobat. And does still have... We're going to see why Seer Owl is really important in a moment here. Once the Sculptor closes the distance, catches up to the Acrobat. All Acrobat has to do is run in the open to avoid these statues, and then just take a basic hit with that Seer Owl. We're going to see that Slow Bomb as well, slowing down that Sculptor. And he's actually going to run into him and take that Owl hit. No, they don't get Owl.
No Owl. Okay.
So, yeah, a little bit misstep for the survivors here.
Blink
as well, but a little bit of a premature swing. Owl should be utilized right here. And he's trying to bait it. They weren't going to do it anyways. Now they do. But he gets chipped anyways. Wow.
Wow. Okay, Spy, even though the Blink was empty, still baiting out the Owl. You got to give your props to the Owl user here, which is 9Mamos. I mean, he really waited till the last second, but unfortunately, the statues were ready, cutting short Sassalil's kiting time. And actually, that was a good target. Now the Tide Turner is definitely rendered obsolete here with how this match is going to play out. So now it's Skyfall that will have to go on rescue duty. 9Mamos doing a great job avoiding, and as I say, that gets hit by a chip of that statue. Still not a full presence, so it seems like Skyfall will finish off that Cypher first. Let's see if they're going to go for the full blood rescue, since Skyfall will have to close out a really long distance to go for that rescue.
Yeah, with Mercenary getting cut off this far, they may not even go for it at all. He takes a hit there, and he's going to push the save. I think Sculptor might have full presence now because of that Insolence. Let's see, actually. Going to go in for that rescue. We're going to see full presence. Statue's getting that hit there. One ship. They were able to get the save, though. Can he get the double hit on Mercenary as well? He is able to get the double hit on Mercenary. Acrobat has a few bombs to work with here, but it's going to be difficult. This is not a great area to kite, especially against a Sculptor with full presence.
Whoa!
Tries to go for that mind game, gets him to vault into him, and he should still be able to get that hit there. There's that first ship. And I don't think there's any chance of making it to a window here before he gets hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think, great job hiding the red light, just forcing him to make that jump. And this will be the first down and out of the game by Spy. 2 Cyphers still remaining. Mercenary is still down. Postman is still out there. You really feel his presence. That Cypher is about to pop, so 1 Cypher does remain. They can still push for a tie. I think that's the best case scenario for Team Have Fun, but Spy would definitely kind of change the tides here and get more survivors down and out.
Yeah, we are going to see going for, I think that's the Seer. Yeah, this is the best target to find next is this Seer. Considering that, 1, he's already got a chip on him. 2, he has no kiting abilities, especially with that Owl already being used. We see this Seer dodging a lot of these stats. He's actually going to change targets, trying to pressure down the Cypher Machine. Who does he... he's going to go for a spike on Seer here, maybe trying to get an extra chip in. Able to avoid those statues, it looks like. And he's just going to kind of camp out the middle here, trying to figure out which Cypher Machine the survivors want to push.
It seems like Skyfall is the one to give tinnitus here, and he will try and down Skyfall once again. I'm not sure if he was able to utilize his self-heal, but now nice elbow pad by Skyfall just to get away, and it seems like Spy will be giving up on the Mercenary. Blink is now online, but no target in front of him. Has another chisel to utilize, or he's trying to hide the red light to see if anyone was there inside the 3 pallet area. Little Boy has to be very careful, because this is a great spot for him to hunker down, for Spy to hunker down and try to down the survivor. I'm not sure which ciphers are the ones that are primed, because we do see one at 3%, one 5. Well, that's a chest, but it seems like Little Boy is on the last cipher that is almost primed.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and commit here towards this this Mercenary. We do see, of course, no trade swap. Only has Blink, Insolence, and Detention, which is a drop build. Gets another chip on that Seer there. Trying to pressure on Seer. Still has Blink. I think if you're the Sculptor, you really want to try to commit to one survivor, at least put someone down, because if you keep going for these ship hits, the survivors are just going to stop, heal up, and play it slow. But it actually looks like the survivors are trying to get aggressive as well. He's going to go ahead and look through this back area here. Goes for that ship yet again, forcing that Seer off of that Cypher Machine. Does he find anybody worth chasing in that area? Looks like it needs the Postman, but already has so much distance.
It seems like he wants to close out that distance. Little boy has to be very careful here just to keep looking behind him, looking away from statues. Now just jumping over this, get a little speed boost just to move on over and away. This allows the mercenary as well as the seer to probably heal up, but it seems like they're going to try to push for ciphers. Seer just touched that cipher really quick, and now he's moving on away. Spy still, just constantly changing target, keeping people on their toes. But the longer that the survivors do this, the more it kind of shifts into their favor, because Spy really not committing to anyone, just still chiseling. It's buying time for them to push the objectives and really prepare themselves for the end game.
And we are going to see him go towards, just walking between these cipher machines. The longer this happens, the more cipher progress is going to be put into play here, trying to use his chisel down survivors. But you really see the downside of the full presence sculptor nerf. When this came, it's just so much easier for survivors to dodge. It's so much harder for the hunter to actually get those chips with the chisel. And we do see the cipher machines again winding down here, trying to pressure down Shaq yet again. But with no trait swap, he can't switch to abnormal, he can't switch to teleport. His pressure here in the endgame is just so much weaker.
Yeah, Seer does get 1 chip damage, and now 9 Mammals will be falling if he gets 1 more chip. But Little Boy still being the ever-elusive target, just running from Shaq to and now at the back of Shaq. Skyfall, forcing maybe Skyfall and the Seer to probably heal up and try to push one cipher together. They seem like they're just trying to switch sides here. Well, Skyfall is on that open cipher because this is the hardest one. This is where the Seer was able to eat that hit. And now Little Boy just running his routes here at the Shack area. It's really a game of chicken here. And now we see that the Mercenary eats 1 hit. Still all good. Can he push for that cipher? Little Boy can eat 1 hit. That is totally fine. Now, the Seer might actually join the Mercenary. No, he will be going towards that exit gate. Can Skyfall pop this last cipher? He can eat 1 more hit of this statue, and he might have to pop it now.
Yeah, it does take a double take. Oh, they were able to pop it just in time there. If Sculptor actually gets it down on the Mercenary, it would have been an excellent position for them. He's going to go ahead and find the Seer here. Still has Blink available, still has detention, so this should be a pretty free down for the Sculptor, but he's not going to be able to get anything more than draw to actually takes the wrong route, but Seer opting to stay in the area anyways, so he's actually able to catch up with that Blink there, and he is able to secure the down with that detention on the Seer. The survivors are able to get that other gate open, and this is going to be a draw.
Yeah, Spy again. The first time he used that Blink, it was a little too short. Used it again, but again, just to close out distance more than anything else. And it's with detention, Sculptor. Yeah, it's definitely a tie. What a match between BoBo, Team BoBo versus Have Fun here. It was definitely a back and forth exchange, and now, coming into this next match, this actually could be a tied match if the results seem to still be the same. A tiebreaker,
yeah.
I mean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we'll have to see how the hunter for Have Fun is able to do. Who is remind me who the hunter was.
It's Crocoduck, who is last human technically. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Human.
Like, a VTuber revealing their identity. But it is Crocoduck. So yeah, sorry about that. He did an amazing job in IVC 2020, I think. IVC 2020, where he was in Team OSM. They won and they were able to make it to Call of the Abyss. So definitely not a hunter that isn't strange to 4Ks. So I'm sure that Team BoBo really have their plate full here because Crocoduck has a lot of hunters to utilize, not just Sculptor. He has really good Bloody Queen. He also has he has Sculptor as well, Pollen, but I don't know in this map. Seems like Sculptor might be the way to go. Yeah,
definitely. In a situation where your team was able to get a draw, you could just go all in here and just try to win it straight up. Not wanting to have to deal with the pressure of an extra round. We'll see what Crocoduck opts to play here. I do know they played a lot of Bonbon and Bloody Queen in the past. I don't know about the currently. Both those hunters work on this map, but again, both are kind of draw hunters. It's hard to win with them, but who knows? If you're able to put yourself in a strong position early on, then anything's a possibility.
Yeah, we're just going to have to find out. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 5-minute break. When we return, it's going to be the second half in Arms Factory. So we'll be right back.
save me from the past and take the lead. I'm ready to be time to stand up and be free. There were times I didn't know what to believe. Now I found a reason to fulfill my destiny. I'll carry on the journey. There were times I didn't know what to look for. Now I found my faith and I won't hesitate no more. The night is gone, I'm no longer torn. A new day has come, I'll be reborn.
With steam dense as a veil, and wine sweet as honey, one can't help but relax at the hot spring. Return to basics, surrender restraints, relinquish thyself. Like the eagle plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathed in the spring, we drink, we worship, we indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the vomeral nasal organ. Reptiles' delicate biology is engraved with the mysteries of evolution. Researching them feels like listening to hymns of heaven and tracing the steps left by the Creator. But the end lies in unexpected malice. Is this a cruel joke from the Creator? Or the inconvenient truth of evolution? All but a small price to pay on the path to truth. And as the scales shed, I shall step over the last of my boundaries.
Hello， 大家好，第五人格的玩家们，我是浩明。Identity 人格系统的新求生者教授卢基诺已经和大家见面了，我是他的设计者之一，很高兴这个角色能够得到大家的喜爱。今天我就来分享一下这个角色开发幕后的故事。我们呢，在2021年引入了 Identity 人格系统，在这个系统里。
All right, welcome back, guys. We have our second half of this round of BoBo versus Have Fun, which started off in a drawn position. Excellent job from Spy. Was able to play just kind of the probably the best draw build for the map that they were on. You know, you have Blink, Insolence, and Detention. They were able to get a tie there. So now a lot of pressure on the survivors here. You know, can you go for a potential win here? I think probably the game plan, playing that build, playing Blink, Insolence Attention is just get a tie, and then the survivors try to win. I think that's kind of just the game plan. So, you know, you don't really want to have to go to an extra round if possible. Puts a lot of extra pressure on. I think, yeah, the game plan is just rely on the survivors to do well here against Last Human, who is...
Yes, Croco Duck.
Croco Duck, there we go. So, yeah, we'll see what they're able to do here. But, yeah, can the survivors potentially win here, or can Croco Duck just go ahead and win straight up and just, you know, wrap things up quickly here?
Yeah, the way that the meta's been playing, right? It's just the survivors that are mostly on the offense, while the survivors are on the offense, hunters are on the defense. So that was definitely I think Spy getting the tie was definitely the win in his book, especially going up against really formidable survivors in Have Fun. You had Skyfall, you had Nine Mamos there, you had Little Boy, Sasolil. Yeah, just him downing the Acrobat is so crucial, and also harassing the mercenary and forcing the mercenary to go for a rescue past half was definitely like when the dominoes were kind of set in motion. But now we are seeing the picks and bans happen. It is a ban of a Dream Witch. So Croco Duck again, Last Human. One of the scariest hunters he has is actually that Dream Witch. So I forgot to say that. So opening up, like you said, the Bon might come out. We might see the Sculptor once again. He still has a lot of choices, but the Dream Witch is off the table. I think we got to transition it.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to see...
There we go.
There we go, yeah. We're going to see Mercenary and Acrobat, actually. No Seer getting locked in. It was, you know, the option was on the table. I guess maybe they're worried about potential Bon is definitely an option. You know, Mercenary and Acrobat would be very strong against those. If it is a Bon, we'll probably see Patient get banned next year. But if it is a Bloody Queen, then we'll probably see Seer be the next one, unless it's some hunter we also don't know about as well. So yeah, again, we'll have to see. Again, don't know too much about Croco Duck here, but at least for me, besides other than knowing about the Bloody Queen and the Bon.
Wow, okay, so Croco Duck leaving the Seer on the table here, so it's the second chance for them to utilize the Seer. Opsta just banned the Psychologist, so kind of wants to take the rescue potential as well as the healing potential of that Psychologist. So, I mean, you can bring... they might want to consider bring out the Seer just so you can cancel out him bringing out BQ. Sculptor as well. Maybe actually he might opt for Sculptor. Definitely doesn't want to just tank all those hits with the Psychologist. Forward can, I mean, you can counter forward with the Sculptor, but I guess he just doesn't want, because Quan Lee's such a masterful forward. But we will have to wait, because Quan Lee can't go for other stunners. I mean, we've seen it before with the Batter. Now they opt to pick up the Seer. Just waiting for the last survivor to be locked in for Quan Lee. I mean, Blue Star, you really have to take it. Oh, they're going for the Embalmer.
Yeah, Embalmer is kind of a tie survivor, so I guess the survivors want to potentially tie here, but that doesn't really make sense, because this was their map selection, so they don't really... I mean, the game plan is play a tie hunter in round 1 with Blink Sculptor, and it's going to be Bon, so I guess maybe it's just in preparation of Bon, but yeah, I mean, the round 1 situation was... it seemed like the game plan was Hunter go out and get a tie, survivors go out and get a win, especially because it's a map pick. But now if you go to a second round, if you tie here and go to a second round, then you're just giving the other team map pick when you want to win on your home field advantage. It doesn't really make sense for them to play a draw strategy here, which is what they have on board currently. But I don't know, maybe they've I guess maybe they just don't want to have to deal with Bon rescues, and going Embalmer is just a safer option. But also Embalmer Arms Factor is just really weak as well.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out once again to people watching on the YouTube channel. Nello Mello has finally reached like 100. Like, wow, this is the first time I reached 100 viewers watching my YouTube. Welcome, guys. Hope you enjoy IBA tournament. We're going to have the next matchup soon between HF and versus BoBo. So, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please. Again, big shout outs and big ups to Nello Mello for his YouTube channel and also his Facebook page, because he's the one hosting it. He's also pushing all the buttons. And shout outs to Eli O as well. If you guys are on YouTube, do follow him as well. Do subscribe. What time do you stream?
I stream for American time zone. I stream at 5 p.m. Yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, do follow Eli O and subscribe to him on YouTube, and subscribe to Nello Mello as well. Wow, 130. So it's actually reaching the triple digits mark. So Big shout outs to Nello, Mello's YouTube, and also his Facebook. But yeah, it seems like everyone's locked in. Yeah, again, I'm really curious to seeing how this Embalmer is going to make things happen. We are going to head right into this matchup. And Crocoduck on this Bonbon can potentially get a 4K here. It's just going to be, let's just see how it plays out.
We are going to see the Shack Gate spawn immediately going towards middle here. Probably will go left and head towards No Man's. Actually, it looks like going for... See, the problem is if you go Factory here as Acrobat, it's 2 survivors are already here. Does he actually see the Seer? Oh, wow. That's a really great find here. Seer rotating into the Hunter, unfortunately, and Crocoduck in a really strong position because of this. Seer's going to go ahead and loop around here. Going to go back to this pallet, utilize the speed boost. Can he potentially get a bomb hit in the process? And no, Seer avoided all of them, and he's able to transition towards the sandbags area.
Yeah, no, he's kind of out in the open. He's farming another owl. Now drops another one. Has to be very mindful here. Baits out the regular hit, so now we can actually move on away. So, again, excellent avoidance on the bombs here. Unscathed is Quan Li in this Seer, so he's doing a great job so far. Just avoiding all these bombs and allowing the survivors to just focus on decoding. Yeah,
we're going to see him try to trap in here with these bombs here. He's able to... No hits at all with bombs. He's able to get that blink hit, but it already is pretty late in this match so far. Seer's going to go ahead and throw down this pallet, goes for that control bomb, is able to get that hit there. He's going to go down to one more bomb hit here. Can Seer avoid this? Is able to potentially stay alive. And oh, look at that, Posh. We actually see the... Oh, he misses the hit. We actually see the coffin already on the Seer, which means that blink was expired, so there's no option to go for a teleport. If he uses that coffin, he could potentially escape the Bonbon here, and this kite is just so long already. This is looking really good, actually, for the survivors.
Yeah, like four ciphers pop, 2 are already on their way, 3. They're going down like, like clockwork here. And now we see Quan Li finally falls down, but now Crocoduck has to make a decision, decides not to go, just has to walk it, right? So after all that that time that was bought, still unscathed here. We do have like no not full presence Bonbon, and now Crocoduck will have to walk all the way back since, like you said, he did expel the blink already. So now Crocoduck will want to go back for that Seer. Can he find him though? He does see a lot of survivors in the wake, but all of them are pretty healthy and also have a lot of resources to utilize.
Yeah, Seer trying to hide out in this area, but he should probably see him eventually here. But yeah, I mean, it's just already a lot of time wasted looking for that. Seer's going to go ahead and... Oh, we did take that hit in the process. It looks like he's probably going to go down to control bomb. Here's the control bomb. This is really important. Can Seer dodge this control bomb? He is able to dodge it. That's a really big dodge, because now you can get to this next pallet. He's going to drop a bunch of bombs in the area, and he is able to chip the Seer there. But, Seer dying on a Cypher Machine as well. I think it would have been beneficial for the Seer to actually rotate towards Shack instead of trying to hide. Hiding is really risky, because if you do get found, you die. Oh, but the Cypher Machines looks to be almost prime anyway, so it may not even matter.
Yeah, that's true. Embalmer, so close to popping that Cypher. He already does, and might have to rotate away to force the Mercenary to go for this rescue. But it seems like the closest one is the Embalmer. He will have to be very careful though. Mercenary already making his rotation towards this rescue. 2 ciphers remaining. We do note that I think they're priming 2 ciphers at once, and the one's at 71%. He's just being very careful. Now the rescue needs to happen. Tide Turner will be in effect, trying to light up the floor. Mercenary eats 1 chip bomb. Will eat another one. Oh my god. He's waiting for the last possible second, and now stuffs the rescue. This has turned around. Crocoduck now just needs 3 survivors to get the victory here.
Yeah, Mercenary actually could have just waited for that bomb to blow up before going for the chair save there. But instead, getting a little too greedy there, and this is probably going to be a drawn position. The question is, does this Bonbon have trump card? We're going to see Acrobat coming for this rescue. Is he able to get that first? Whoa. And he pushes the Acrobat back. The Cypher Machine is primed. Can he potentially go for the blink and get the down the Acrobat? He's going around the chair to try to bait out the blink, but he didn't fall for it. And now all he has to do, there's the blink, and there's the down. Again, he only needs 3 survivors eliminated, and with the tension, that may be enough there. Again, you saw the Acrobat. He knew blink was coming, so he tried to bait it out by going behind the chair, hoping the Bonbon would blink onto the chair. Crocoduck with enough patience not to go for it, and now with the tension, he should be able to secure this 3rd kill.
Yeah, now he doesn't want to pick him up just yet. And forcing out the self-heal, it's almost done. Lower left side of the screen. It's just really close, but Crocoduck, he's going to light up the floor. Mercenary takes a while, and now he's not just going to... he's just going to pick him up because Mercenary is about to expire. Just an excellent timing on Crocoduck with... it didn't have the best early game. Quan Lee did such an amazing kite with that Seer, and now they're forced to have the Embalmer escape, but that's going to be a victory on the side of HF. That's Have Fun. Embalmer, just still near the exit gate area. It finally opened, and Crocoduck gets the victory for his team.
Yeah, that was looking really good. The Survivors, again, they had to win it. Mercenary makes that save, the Survivors win. It's that simple. And I think the biggest issue there is that Survivors still had a drop, but the problem was Acrobat went too early. The Cypher Machine was not perfectly primed by the time he went for that. If that Cypher Machine is perfectly primed, as soon as he gets hit with attack recovery on that, that stuffed rescue, he still makes the save, and they still get away, and there's no risk of him going for that blink hit or anything like that. I think also in that situation, maybe it benefits. I mean, obviously, it's just kind of a guessing game, right? Do you just go straight for the rescue, hope the Bonbon doesn't blink, or do you try to bake the blink hit on Cher? And he went for the blink hit on Cher. Bonbon opted to go, opted not to use it. It's kind of a 50-50, to be honest. And the 50-50 worked out in Crocoduck's favor here. So, that's going to be a win for Have Fun here. I mean, again, it looked like a win for the Survivors. If Mercenary makes that save, the Survivors do win that position. It looked like a tie after the stuffed rescue, but Acrobat went a little too early, unfortunately, and it allowed for Have Fun to win this round.
Yeah, those two chairs, those two camping scenarios really turned the tide in Crocoduck's favor. And it just shows how effective Bonbon is when it comes to the camping. But you know what? If we're going to go for other highlights here, you got to give it up to Quan Lee, man. He was really able to avoid control bombs and really able to keep Crocoduck starving for presence. So again, beautiful performance. Unfortunately for our friends in Team BoBo, they did lose to... Have Fun here, but it's not the end of the road. Even though they did lose, they do have a chance to still participate in the top 16 because we will be getting the top two teams of each of the groups, and they will be advancing. So still cheer your favorite teams on, ladies and gentlemen. And for you guys that did vote for Have Fun to win this, congratulations, you guys get more points. For those of you that voted for Team BoBo, again, they're still in this, and I'm sure that they'll be able to bounce back from this because, again, it's still the start of the weekend. We're still going to see more matches as IVA continues on. But, again, it's the matches seem to be hype. It seems to be leveling up as we go. Even though we did have that exhibition match, I feel like now we're starting to get into the wheel of the competition of Southeast Asia here. And, yeah, all these teams are hungry for points.
Absolutely. So Have Fun is taking it over BoBo here. We're going to have our last match coming up next, GT versus At1S. I believe we're going to be going on a short break, and we will have that match for you after we return.
Waking up through the darkness, I can see the sun. Leaving behind what I have built, future's already begun. Can somebody save me from the past and take the lead?
with steam dense as a veil, and wine sweet as honey. One can't help but relax at the hot spring. Return to basics. Surrender restraints. Relinquish thyself. Like the eagle plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathed in the spring, we drink. We worship. We indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the vomeral nasal organ. Reptiles' delicate biology is engraved with the mysteries of evolution. Researching them feels like listening to hymns of heaven and tracing the steps left by the Creator. But the end lies in unexpected malice. Is this a cruel joke from the Creator? Or the inconvenient truth of evolution? All but a small price to pay on the path to truth. And as the scales shed, I shall step over the last of my boundaries.
Hello， 大家好，第五人格的玩家们，我是浩明。Identity 人格系统的新求生者教授卢基诺已经和大家见面了，我是他的设计者之一，很高兴这个角色能够得到大家的喜爱。今天我就来分享一下这个角色开发幕后的故事。我们呢，在2021年引入了 Identity 人格系统，在这个系统里，所有的角色都是已有角色的一个新的形态。我们希望一些角色能以一个新的形态突破求生者和监管者之间的阵营隔阂，呈现角色更多的可能性。这次新求生者教授卢基诺，他和涅西卢基诺其实是同一个人。在涅西卢基诺的推演故事中，卢基诺教授被神秘的毒蛇咬伤了，他的身体逐渐开始变异，他为了追寻这一条毒蛇之源来到了庄园。也就是说，每一对 identity 角色都是基于同一个角色，在同一个故事框架下进行设计的。当然，我们也不会限定这样一对角色它必须是同一个人的概念，也不会限定说每一对角色它都必须在求生者和监管者两个阵营之间相互转换。今年我们将再推出一个新的 identity 角色，大家敬请期待。其实我们在选角色的时候是想过，涅西这一个监管者他是非常特别的，在我们的游戏里他是一个追猎者的形象，他是整个蜥蜴的外表，有着蜥蜴的鳞片、尖爪、尾巴。这时我们就会好奇，如果我们拿监管者这个涅西卢基诺的形象去做一个求生者，那求生者他长怎么样的呢？之前说过，求生者卢基诺是他受邀来访庄园时的形态，因此呢，我们在设计外形的时候需要兼顾教授卢基诺和涅西卢基诺两者的特征。虽然监管者涅西他是有着蜥蜴和人脸混杂的五官，但是我们还是提取了一些他身上独有的五官的立体感。此外呢，在整个教授卢基诺身上还有一些涅西的鳞片，以及手和指甲也会变得更像爪子，让两者有所呼应。最后就诞生出了大家最终看到的教授卢基诺。我们的设计时，首先确认了教授的核心技能是围绕反弹攻击，也就是鳞片硬化这个高难度机制展开的。 玩家们需要在高度紧张的追逃过程中，同时留意对手的动作，并在瞬间抓住时机，激活技能。有时候，你甚至可以主动靠近监管者来触发鳞片硬化的技能效果。鳞片硬化可以在板窗交汇的过程中使用，避免被后来追击的监管者恐惧震慑。为了进一步加强教授的辅助能力，我们为他添加了支援其他求生者也能反弹攻击的退灵技能。以上就是我今天给大家分享的教授卢基诺开发幕后，希望能帮助玩家们更多了解卢基诺这个角色。感谢大家喜欢我们的 Identity 系统，我们后续也会为大家带来更多精心设计的游戏内容，敬请期待哦！再见。
Miss Keo, how was your childhood? Well, at the dinner table, Father said with a smile, "You sure love playing judge, don't you?" And then they wanted me to pursue my own happiness. Of course, so did my brothers. Your brothers? He was not qualified to represent justice. And I won't allow that to happen. Something happened, I suppose. I did what I had to do. Justice needs obedience. Justice needs sacrifice. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. That's all.
Long, long ago, when demons and gods walked amongst humanity, two sisters lived a life of creating fragrances.
All that you desire shall be granted if you...
Alright everybody, welcome back to our fourth and final match of the day. We have GT versus A13. So this is going to be the last match of the day. We saw a very close matchup actually in the last one. Have Fun versus BoBo. It actually looked like BoBo was going to win, but a very timely stuff of a rescue, from the Bonbon there, and they were able to push ahead for that 3-person elimination. And now we have again last match, GT versus A13. What can you tell us about this matchup, Watch?
Yeah, so GT, is this GT first? Yeah, GT is a team from Thailand, actually one of the top teams in Thailand. Riffernan is here, Kiloi Home, so a lot of household names. So I'm really excited to see this team, because it's been a while since, actually it's been a minute since I've seen Kiloi Homes. But they will be going up against A13. A13, ladies and gentlemen, is a sub-team of Team LUV, so that's Love at First Sight. They made an impression in the qualifiers. They also made it to the finals. The grand finals in Call of the Abyss qualifiers. So I'm excited to see how their sub team will be challenged here. But before anything else, I think we got one last fan art for the day. You guys can follow her. It's at Calico Cat. Look at this. Look at this skin. I mean, that's perfume, right? Hang on. Let me just try to Dancer? Hang on. I can't make it bigger.
Like maybe Dancer.
Dancer? Yeah, it's Dancer. I can't really make it bigger. But yeah, at Calico Cat, once again, ladies and gentlemen, on IG. If you guys want to participate in this fan art tournament, fan art portion, please do use the hashtag. And also, it's available on Twitter and Instagram. Do follow at Calico Cat. You know, amazing artwork so far, making me and Eli very jealous of your drawing skills. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent job there. Unfortunately for the screen's a little bit smaller. We can't see it too well, but just a very excellent job. Again, Wish I could draw that well, but no. I can draw like a stick figure with a pencil.
Yeah. I don't even know. Edgar can run and draw at the same time. I don't know. I don't know how these guys are doing that. We can't cosplay as Edgar because we'll be found out right away. We can't even draw. The hunters won't even look at our paintings, dude.
Yeah,
like,
no, they're just like, nah, it's wasting my time. Sorry. But yeah, no, we have our last match here. So when you say love is the sub team of love, was it the love players or is it like is it a different? Do you know?
I think it's. Well, let's head into the picks and ban phase to see first who will be doing the hunting and surviving. So it seems like it is going to be the team of. I think that's. Oh, sorry. So it's going to be GT that is going to be the hunter, the survivor side.
Right.
While team At1S. Now, looking at the lineup of At1S, actually, I think this is actually like completely different from the team of Love. So I think it's more of like their guild mates or their squad. So really excited to see what At1S is going to be doing, because if we looked at the predictions, guys, if you haven't locked it in yet, GT is favored to win this since they are one of the best teams in Thailand. So knowing that, me and Eli went the other way to see, we got to go big or go home. So we're going with At1S.
Yeah, here we are. Looks like it is Ever Sleeping Town. We'll see what hunter gets banned. It looks like a breaking wheel. Yeah,
this is Pollen. So yeah, breaking wheel did get picked. Just to note also, At1S, one of their hunters lit. I'm not sure if it's this hunter. He brought out Percy. So that's very interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
And he got the win.
I mean, yeah, Percy on this map is actually not bad. It's probably the best map for Percy, actually. So, yeah, could definitely come out. We are going to see Priestess ban, which is... So is it... GT is hunting, you said, right?
GT is surviving.
Oh, surviving. Oh, so this actually... So this might... So this could be Percy from this hunter.
This could be. Actually, I got my data wrong. So the match that At1S had, they tied both hunter and survivor side. So the survivor escape time was the fastest compared to the other team. So they won kind of clutch. So they really are the underdogs coming into this matchup. Now we see a very standard pick on the seer and the forward, just countering a lot of the survivors that this hunter can use. So Percy might come out. I'm excited if ever that's going to be the case.
Okay, yeah, so it looks like we might getting word from Nello that I think this is a Soul Weaver player, which still is interesting why we see Priestess banned for. I mean, obviously Priestess is very good against Soul Weaver, especially on this map. You use a lot of those webs to catch up to a survivor, then you instantly get it canceled and slowed down because you have to go through that stun of going through the portal. But I mean, Seer ban first is also very good for a Soul Weaver, so I guess it's just kind of a toss-up, which you'd really prefer to deal with a little bit less. And we're going to see the second ban probably going to be Mercenary. I'm not actually really sure, what a Soul Weaver go with here. Do we actually know who picked map first? Do we know
give us confirmation? Maybe if NTT is listening, let us know. I don't know. But did he say anything? He went
no.
Maybe if I say people would hear, but the team that picks a map is. Wait. I can chime in.
Oh, there we go. Shout outs to NTT. You want to say hi to the chat?
It's GT. Hey,
GT picked it.
Yeah,
okay.
GT picked the map.
That would make sense. Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say if it is a Soul Weaver player, I think it'd make more sense to go to Chinatown because again, if you do play Breaking Wheel, then Breaking Wheel works on Chinatown there. So and if you ban Breaking Wheel, then you can just play Soul Weaver in Chinatown. Soul Weaver's still not bad on this map, but definitely stronger on that Chinatown. We are gonna see Psychologist as a second ban, so not scared of a Mercenary, which actually makes a little bit of sense in that. If Mercenary goes for a rescue, you hit them with that web shot, and then a basic hit, they're at a quarter health, which means that they actually are unable to save a second time. So then the Mercenary, being a good character for rescuing twice is at that point useless. So, so Psychologist ban here makes sense.
Yeah, just to also add to the context of why they picked this map, Karishma, if he or she will be the hunter for the side of GT, will be picked. Main hunter here is Breaking Wheel, so this is definitely the map she wants. So it all makes sense now with why GT definitely picked this map, and not just the counter, but also kind of to buff their hunter. Now Mercenary is available to be picked, definitely not leaving any room for at 1S to be able to move, just try to counter anything here. Mercenary very well rounded, and now with that Acrobat kicker, wonder who the hunter will be coming up on screen now.
Yeah, if it is a Soul Weaver, this is a really hard comp for Soul Weaver to deal with. Acrobat's very good. You know, you can drop the Flame Bomb to prevent them from stacking those webs. You can drop the Slow Bomb as well to slow them down from catching up to you with those webs as well. Entomologist also would have been strong here instead of Acrobat, but Acrobat still does the job very well. So yeah, it is Soul Weaver into this comp is difficult. Believe it or not, your best chase target might actually be forward. Like it's just like it's so weird here because again, I mean it would actually be Seer, but like if you're unable to find Seer, it's just like Seer able to absorb 3 hits. You can give Owl to a survivor, allow them to absorb 3 hits against Soul Weaver is very difficult. Soul Weaver, a character that wants to ban Seer, you only want to have to deal with 2 hits. You see them banning Psychologist because they don't want to have to deal with 3, but yeah, so giving Seer here is risky, and then just a lot of really good kiters against Soul Weaver is just so difficult for this hunter.
Yeah, so I think they were able to kind of counter pick or able to target ban his well, not really, but allow him, the Soul Weaver to come out, but still bring it in an environment that is definitely not advantageous. And looking at the screen on the side of the survivors, yeah, looks like the Acrobat is going to bring that flywheel effect as well as the Seer. That's something to take note of. Tide is going to come in play for the Mercenary and that forward for sure, but yeah, it's going to be very tricky for them to be able to on these. Well, the most potential one is that Seer, right? But it's going to have a hard time, especially in Ever Sleeping Town. So let's hope and see if this Soul Weaver can make these traps count, make the web shots count, and just gain that presence to just build on the momentum of for his team.
Yeah, absolutely. Now some advantages Soul Weaver does have here. It's actually kind of interesting. Basement spawn in this map is really important. If basement spawns at graveyard, it's actually better for Soul Weaver because it's harder for survivors to kite in corner house. If you have basement in corner house, when they go under that 2-story area at corner house, you can't drop webs there because the basement's there. But if the basement's not there, then you can drop webs there because it's filled in, so you can stack your webs in that little area under there. So that's actually kind of interesting. But we're going to see him go ahead and go towards middle, finding the forward first here, and this is not a bad target for Soul Weaver to chase. Forward, he's actually gonna leave and go for. Whoa. Is that the
I think if we make this bigger, it'll we can definitely see there.
Yeah, interesting decision to go for Merc. Chasing forward is actually fine as a Soul Weaver, because when they go for that football, you can just instantly catch up for them with your webs and still get a hit anyways. So going for the Mercenary here is
but yeah, you could just able to get the hit though on Miso. So definitely a good scramble there, but it seems like he's really want to commit to this Mercenary. So again, he wants to be able to down one of these survivors, but again, Mercenary has 2 more elbow pads to utilize. The delayed effect on his passive there is definitely going to be hard. Now we see him, he has to utilize that elbow pad just to get out of dodge, but now the webs are able to catch up, and he's able to utilize the blink to get the Mercenary. Now the Mercenary has no more skills, no more items to utilize. So it seems like a great job so far. 5 ciphers still remain. Has to avoid the tram. The Mercenary trying to create some distance before he falls down, but it's only a matter of time. And now forward has to be the one to go for the rescue.
Yeah, it was a fast down, but it's still a Mercenary. So, either way, if Mercenary gets rescued, he's going to have that. Yeah, he's going to have chair time and delayed effect off chair. So the time can still be wasted quite significantly. And Owl still in play. So if you rescue this Mercenary, you give Owl to the Mercenary off of chair. And then on top of that, have the delayed effect once he gets hit a second time. Then it's just so much time wasted. Forward's going for that. Does get the hit though. The question is though, can he get a web shot and a hit on the Mercenary? He's going to go for the double hit on forward. This is actually really risky because again, the same play we talked about, Poch. We see a forward doing an excellent job picking up those webs, but the same play we talked about is they're going to give Owl this Mercenary, and then he's going to have to take another hit after that. Web shot actually hits an object as well, so Mercenary can actually, with an Owl, last for a long time. So going for a double hit on forward, I don't think is worth it. But he does get a drop down hit. He gets a drop down hit. Mercenary actually a little mistake from the Mercenary, and it actually works for the Soul Weaver.
Yeah, just closing out that distance, and now has a double down on both the rescuers here. Seer is in this area, still has utilization of that owl, but now forced in a tough spot. And like you said, I think that maybe he wanted to go for a draw, but he's on a winning pace here for him to be able to get more than just a draw if ever they play their cards right. Forward forced to use the self-heal. He is camping this Cypher that is at corner house, and now the Seer, tried to utilize the flywheel and able to avoid, and now eats that hit. Mercenary has to be very careful now as now the Seer's owl is going to be utilized here. Utilizes it for the Mercenary to move on away from this Cypher just so that the Seer can pop it, but can the Spider be able to down this Mercenary? It's going to be a foot race just to move on away, and now Mercenary again has that delayed effect.
Yeah, he actually could have web shot it, tried to web shot there. The web shot was off a cooldown. He's going to probably... he gets the hit. That actually is really important because it instead of 15 extra seconds for the Mercenary, it just makes it 0. So he would have actually had, probably another 12 there. So that saves him 12 seconds. That could be a difference maker here. We'll see where the Swaver opts to go next here. Probably going to go towards middle. Going to try to look for where the survivors are healing. Knows that Seer doesn't have Owl as well. So if he's able to find Seer, that could be a very quick down for him. Especially that blinks back online. It means his next chase is going to be very strong. And he does find Seer. Seer was able to get healed up, but he has a lot of webs stacked up and still has that blink available.
Playing the pallet mind games here. Seer able to practice some disciplines, but has to eat a web shot. Now is forced to break down this pallet, and honestly, the pallet breaking speed of the Spider is quite slow. And now utilizing the webs here. Can he go for a regular hit? Tried to go for another web shot there. Has to go for a regular hit. 2 Cyphers still remain. Forward and Acrobat still have a lot to utilize in terms of their items. And now Seer trying to transition, avoiding the web shots, currently looking behind him, trying to farm that owl. Forward, going for a hit, and now able to give the Seer safe passage to the upstairs part, but he drops down. So now has to be very careful in trying to transition away because webs are still on cooldown here. Blink is available. Can he close out the distance here? But also running into the Acrobat Cypher, and now the web shot lands.
Yeah, and he does still have that trade available, so he's probably going to chair on the Acrobat Cypher, I would imagine. No, he's going to take him to middle instead, try to chair on forward Cypher. Maybe he'll go for a normal switch here. That might not actually be too bad of an option. Yeah, does he go for that play? It could be a nice aggressive play. It could work out here. Or is he just going to go ahead and play this safely? He's thinking about it, but no, he's going to go ahead and hold that trade a little bit longer. Maybe trying to hold for a possible teleport later. Whoa. And he actually can get a free hit on the forward. Forward is going to be the one to make that rescue. But he goes for that. And he's not able to get it. And he's going to go down. And he dies on the Cypher machine as well.
Oh, this is tough because that forward, I mean, he was looking pretty healthy at the start of that chair exchange. Now, Seer able to break that line of sight, but now it seems like he will try to contain, just camp this Cypher. Acrobat will have to be forced to go for that save. Seer has to pop Acrobat Cypher. Well, Acrobat will have to do 2 things. Get that rescue and also pop that Cypher. Acrobat eats the regular hit, and now has to go through these webs, trying to go for more than just that. Acrobat dropping down, but no, gets hit in the middle of the air, and he can just go for that chair.
Yeah, taking turns on the chair here. They are able to... they're going to go ahead and stop and heal up here. The question is now, does Soulweaver find where they're healing? That's really important. Soulweaver needs to try to look for where they're healing. He's going to go ahead and grab these webs here, giving him more speed. Will he go ahead and go far out and look for them healing? No. He's just going to stay and camp it hard, camp this chair here, make sure there's no chance for them. They are going to get that 1 heal off, so he knows that they are healing. He knows that forward's going to come in for the save, but the question is which direction. Now he does see forward. He's going to go ahead and get that hit, gets very fast.
Oh, he's blocking.
Yeah. And it's the down on forward, and forward's going to be on chair for the second time. I actually think he should just have normal the Cypher. If you have normal middle Cypher, they don't have another one, and forward's been on chair for the second time, which puts a lot of pressure on them to rescue. But no, he's not going to do it. He's playing it
real safe. And now Seer about to push for that last Cypher. You got to be very careful. Oh, uses the flywheel just to get more away, but now the Seer will be falling down. Now they could try to push for this Cypher. He's going to utilize the webs just to move on a little bit. It's not close to being primed. And now, let's see, he uses the abnormal. So great move. Held on to the trait for as long as he could, but switched it out when he needed to. Excellent play on the Spider side.
Yeah, that abnormal should probably secure it. Seer, I think, is second chair here. So this is going to be, so no one can save. Their only chance was really to try to get a sneaky rescue, and then someone also just maybe pop the cipher at the last time, but now the cipher is at 30%. So there's no option to pop it. They need an entirely new cipher machine, and that's really just not going to be an option. We see there was one survivor going towards corner house and one trying to feed tinnitus, keeping the Soul Weaver in the area. But again, it doesn't matter. Minimum, Soul Weaver is going to draw, probably going to get a 3K at least here. The question is, can you push for more? Most likely, it's going to be difficult because you don't have mobility with that teleport, but with that abnormal, it's still going to be very strong. He's going to try to find where the survivor is hiding out here, but you got to make sure you don't allow them to decode that corner house cipher all the way for free.
Yeah, it's he's trying to look, but yeah, if he just went straight ahead, he'd probably find out where the forward was at. Now the acrobat with accelerated decoding, it's only a matter of time till that cipher is already primed. Still trying to look for where or who is triggering that tinnitus. So the forward doing a great job doing that. Now he's gonna have to realize that cipher in the corner house is shaking, and now he's gonna fully commit to trying to stop this cipher from popping. The acrobat is almost ready to pop that cipher. Looking like he's gonna just wait it out and go for tinnitus. A detention hit here. Now gets the web hit and now doubles it. And now the acrobat is down. All of them played musical chairs here, so this is the second time the acrobat is on this rocket chair.
Yeah, that web shot is actually really important because it prevents him from using his bomb. Obviously, you want to go for that charge bomb. You want to try to use it, but as soon as you get that web shot, as soon as you get that hit, you prevent that from happening. We are going to see Forward is able to make it out the exit gate, but a 3 survivor elimination for the Soul Weaver, that is definitely, with a tie hunter, able to get 3 survivors eliminated is exactly what exactly what this team wants to see.
Yeah, and just when we thought that it's looking pretty tough because of the lineup, we were talking about which is the best target he could probably chase. And he went for the mercenary again, just showing us that we don't know this game at all. With how well he was able to down the mercenary, he played it very conservatively. He knew he was very aware of what steps the survivors were going to take, and getting the 3-1 over a team like GT, one of the team's best teams in Thailand, is definitely a huge win at 1S, especially on a Soul Weaver in Ever Sleeping Town.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, again, chasing mercenary. It makes more sense to chase the forward, but again, just decided to go for the mercenary instead. Obviously, the Soul Weaver knowing something that we don't, and it worked out for them. Chasing mercenary as a single hit hunter is really weak,
risky
because it's risky. But Soul Weaver also has a little bit of extra. They have that chip hit with the web shot, so it becomes less of a single hit hunter. And also a bit of a chip hunter as well. And that actually makes the difference because, you're able to get a web shot and then get a regular hit down the mercenary. And we saw that happen. It was on the last rescue. You got that hit on the mercenary. He would have had 15 seconds of delayed effect. True. But instead, you get the web shot and he prevented that from happening at all. And he also was able to web shot off the owl as well, too. And he was able to get that hit. So all those obviously being very important. A little misstep from the mercenary, of course, was to get that drop down hit. If he's able to force a basic hit on the owl and then force another basic hit after that, if he can dodge the web shot, then that's just so much time wasted. You have the owl hit with the attack recovery, then plus another 15 seconds after that. So that would have been really strong for the mercenary, but the drop hit I think was actually a really big game changer as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. So we will conclude this next match, but we will be taking a quick break before, and after that we will see the second half of the last match of the day. So don't go anywhere. More of IVA when we return.
Somebody save me from the past and take the lead. I'm ready to be, time to stand up and be free. There were times I didn't know what to believe. Now I found a reason to fulfill my destiny. I'll carry on the journey. There were times I didn't know what to look for. Now I found my faith and I won't hesitate no more. The night is gone, I'm no longer torn.
with steam dense as a veil, and wine sweet as honey. One can't help but relax at the hot spring. Return to basics. Surrender restraints. Relinquish thyself. Like the eagle plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathed in the spring, we drink. We worship. We indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the vomeronasal organ. Reptiles' delicate biology is engraved with the mysteries of evolution. Researching them feels like listening to hymns of heaven and tracing the steps left by the Creator. But the end lies in unexpected malice. Is this a cruel joke from the Creator? Or the inconvenient truth of evolution? All but a small price to pay on the path to truth. And as the scales shed, I shall step over the last of my boundaries.
Hello， 大家好，第五人格的玩家们，我是浩明。Identity 人格系统的新求生者教授卢基诺已经和大家见面了，我是他的设计者之一。很高兴这个角色能够得到大家的喜爱，今天我就来分享一下这个角色开发幕后的故事。我们呢，在2021年引入了 Identity 人格系统，在这个系统。
And welcome back to IVA, where it's potentially the last match of the day between GT and one at S. Is that right? Yeah, one at S. Elio and Botch Spice here. Eli, any highlights from the previous match? Because we will be heading into the second one with an advantage on the Survivor side. They just need to tie to win this one.
Yeah, Mercenary chase first, resulting in a win for the Hunter, which is not something you see every day, but it worked out for the Soul Weaver. They actually found Ford and Mercenary first, which a lot of Hunters wouldn't chase either, but Soul Weaver can technically chase both. Ford, I think, more effectively than Mercenary, but they opted to leave the Ford for the Mercenary, and it actually worked out. So they were able to get a 3-person elimination. I think the big, it was kind of a drawn position, but the big game changer was that he was able to chair the last survivor on the last Cypher machine, which he was then able to pressure it over and over and over, keep sharing survivors on that Cypher, and then ultimately abnormal it because the survivors opted to keep rushing it instead of trying to start a new one. And then, yeah, obviously taking advantage of that, switching to abnormal, kicking that Cypher machine down low enough where they couldn't pop it, and was able to get a 3-kill instead of a draw out of it, and that was the big game changer there. And actually, the Soul Weaver could have actually gone for a 4-person elimination, but they allowed that corner house Cypher to be pushed for too long. And that was a little bit unfortunate for them, but they were able, again, to get 3 survivors out the gate. 3 survivors down, only allowing 1 out the gate. And yeah, just like that, survivors for at 1S here only need to draw, and they will be taking the win here.
Yeah, and so let's head into the picks and bans now as we transition on over. And also talking about like the start of the picks and bans, it was kind of crazy how we said like, yeah, you know what, if the Soul Weaver is able to tie, that's definitely a win. So him going above and beyond, going with 3-person kill is actually really good. Could have gone for the other one, but I think, yeah, he just wanted to play it a little more safe and not really give them enough room to breathe. So I'm excited to see how Riff or None the hunter will be able to change things up here. The ban on the pollen is very needed, right? Rifernan, a really known hunter on the side of GT. So now let's head on over to the bans of the survivor. Well, one ban. Will he opt to ban forward? Priestess still up in the air with for Rifernan.
Yeah, it should be okay. It's Seer, which means that we're probably seeing a Dream Witch. I mean, Seer ban works for both Breaking Wheel and Dream Witch. We are going to see Breaking Wheel ban, so if it is Dream Witch, then Seer ban definitely would make the most sense. Now, we should see the survivors probably take Mercenary and Priestess, or Forward and Priestess, or maybe Mercenary and Forward, but that's a little bit less likely. I think, yeah, you kind of have to take Priestess. They're not taking Forward, so this actually allows for Forward ban here. We'll probably see Forward ban be done next here in Psychologist, and I don't know, probably Acrobat is the last lock-in, or maybe we'll see Psychologist ban and we'll see Forward Acrobat instead. But yeah, Psychologist ban here means that the survivors can just go Forward and Acrobat. Acrobat a good kiter against Patroller, because the bombs in the Acrobat can actually be used to cancel Patroller bites. And then Forward, obviously, just very strong rescuer against Dream Witch in general, because it forces the Dream Witch to camp with 2 leeches, or else you allow for a stun on chair rescue or pick up the survivor. We're actually going to see Mechanic, which is actually fine. Mechanic is actually fine now that I think about it, because yeah, just tie. You just need a tie. I actually didn't consider that. That's actually a good result. We're actually going to see Patient instead of Acrobat. So I guess they're just kind of going for they're trying to cover all potential options here. And Patient's fine against Dream Witch as well. It's very hard for the Dream Witch to get a trap, a leech trap on the Patient. You can just look away. Patient usually forces a double Patroller.
Yeah, it seems like they really have everything locked down, because I mean, Mercenary, Priestess, we sing their praises enough in picks and bans. Having the Mechanic here, like you called it, you know, that really plays to their win condition. If the Mechanic is chased, all right, just as long as the bot is saved, they can still go for that tie. Still have that Cypher Rush just to keep that bot safe. And having this this Patient here, we saw how well it worked in the previous match, our first match of the day. So you definitely want to bring that into the mix. And Rifernan sticking to the Dream Witch. Again, Dream Witch in a map like this, very good. But I mean, the meta has definitely changed. So Rifernan's going to have his hands full with the survivors. But we've had this type of conversation. It's kind of like deja vu with the Spider match that we just saw. So he can turn this around. Rifernan, the victory conditions are clear. He needs to get 4 survivors killed, or he needs to go for at least that tie for a tiebreaker.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, survivors, as you mentioned, Potts just going for a tie with this Mechanic. And yeah, I still think Acrobat could have been a little bit stronger here, but you know, again, it's also Patient on this map is just so strong as well. So I think that's the idea, and a lot of people think that Patient isn't good against Dream Witch because, you know, Patient can't really deal with Patroller that well, but Patient is really strong against Dream Witch. And the reason why is that, again, Dream Witches will try to go for a leech trap. They'll trap you between the main spawn and a leech, and then get a hit on you, then go for just a single Patroller after. But Patient's transition kiting is so strong that it's really, really difficult for you to get that leech trap on Patient, actually. Almost impossible if Patient plays it properly, especially on Ever Sleeping Town, because, again, there's a lot of very nice hook places. So you force double Patroller, which wastes so much time. Patient just being very good for wasting time early game with Mechanic in play should be enough for the survivors to get that draw that they really need to just win this round.
Just to take note, Tide Turner both on Mercenary and Acrobat, while Broken Windows on Priestess and this Mechanic. So it seems like, yeah, the double rescuer, I mean, they're playing it very safe with this type of composition. Again, I think they're expecting the Mechanic to be found first, just so she brought the Broken Windows, and at least the Acrobat or the Mercenary can go for that save. Again, they don't want to overextend here. They have the victory conditions in mind. So let's see how this match will play out. We do see that the Dream Witch spawns at the graveyard area.
Yeah, graveyard key spawn being over near the fake gate alleyway. We're going to see him go towards corner house first, and is the location of the Mechanic, which is, yes, a good find, but as long as the bot lives, it's not that. The problem... Oh, Mechanic gets hit by the tram. This could actually be a free hit for the Dream Witch, and that is actually just a winning position immediately here for the Dream Witch. That's just an incredible start.
So now mechanic going on the tram. Yeah, sorry I kind of cut you. Sorry I cut you off, partner, because I was like, wow, okay, that was definitely in favor of the Dream Witch here. Now the Dream Witch making sure the main body is there. Now at least the mechanic going to a pretty strong spawn here, a pretty strong area here. So at least she won't be bothered by she won't bother anyone going for that Cypher Rush. And the mechanic stall is safe. I'm not sure if she dropped it down actually, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. Beloin here, try to mitigate the situation. Already leeched here, so he's gonna try to create a situation where he's gonna try to go for that main body hit instead of that leech hit. And also the dungeon is here, so he's gonna have to be very careful. Can he go behind the pallet in time?
Yeah, he's able to get past that. Can he get this vault off as well? Is able to get she goes for a charge attack instead of a basic swing, and that allows him to get the vault off. And the bot is actually at corner house, so as long as he's able to die to a leech here, that first hit is not even going to matter. I mean, the Dream Witch just opting not to use Patroller at all. Just take the leech hit. That's all you got to do. Yeah, there's the leech hit. Bot is in play. This is just easily a drawn position for the survivors. They have a lot of Cypher Rush already. Mechanic, look at where Mechanic dies back.
So far.
Perfect. Yeah, nowhere for the Dream Witch to pressure. Then with bot in play, this is easily a drawn position. Yeah, that immediate tram hit doesn't even matter. Dream Witch tried to go so deep for that leech hit, for that leech trap hit, and it just didn't pay off. A leech was removed in the process. Patroller wasn't even utilized. It's just useless at this point. And yeah, with Mechanic spot in play, promoting that Cypher Rush, we have an excellent start here for the survivors of At1S.
So yeah, Priestess forced to get away from the second story at the middle side of this map. Mercenary seems to be like he's on his way for that rescue, but nice vault on the side of this Priestess. Trying to go for it, but able to cancel out the rescue. Still can get the rescue before half, so that's still all good. Can go for a rebound kite here, but now we see that the Patroller was used on this Priestess. The Priestess going back and forth inside the graveyard area. 3 ciphers still remain, and the Mechanic spot is still in play.
Yeah, and Mechanic spot can actually do an entire Cypher Machine for free. We're going to see Mechanic go down here. I don't think this is going to be a leech hit, so that's not really ideal. Oh, it is a leech hit, so that's actually perfect. So the only leech in place, the main spawn, she will have another leech available. But basement is here, so this is... but it doesn't matter. Yeah, they just need to tie.
Yeah.
They don't have to win here. So we're going to see another leech get put back into play. I expect the survivors to go for a rescue just to waste extra time, so there's no chance at Dream Witch pushing for a win in the end game. Just try to put yourself in a winning position, and if it's a tie, it's a tie. It doesn't really matter for survivors. And we should have the last Cypher Machines almost done here. Mercenary coming in for that rescue is going to take that hit here. You got to make sure you don't get double hit. You cannot allow for that. Oh, they're actually going to body block.
Body block,
okay. I think they had the Cypher Machine almost primed in. It is primed here. So the survivors have just put themselves in a winning position from an immediate free hit right out the gate, and just like that, working back into the favor. There's the hit, and we should see the Cypher pop. There it is.
Yeah, at least providing that distance. Look, Beloin knows what his role is. He just wants to be able to go away as far as possible, and since he has that leech, it's going to be quite tough. But now they're being chased away. Priestess and Mercenary forced to go away from this gate, but the Priestess does have a D leech. He has an anti-curse with him, and now they just need to make the rotations, now allowing the Mechanic to probably get into a better spot here. Now we see that the Mercenary utilizing the elbow pads already with a survivor here, and now they just need 2 survivors. Patroller is going to get dropped, and now he's going to utilize the Patroller on the patient, and now they're going to be able to go out of this gate. Teleport will be utilized right before the exit gate opens up. Priestess is down, but the win condition is already there. We are going to see the patient fall down, though. Can he make the crawl happen? No, he's going to be able to exit. That's a good done deal. They're able to get the tie. Another tram hit?
Yeah, did the Dream Witch tram hit? I don't think the Dream Witch saw it. He did not see the oh no, he did see it, but again, it's not going to matter. They only need to get a tie here. Mechanic is going to go down, but it is still the draw for the survivors. That Patroller was actually huge. If he's able to kill the patient and keep him in the match, then he could potentially kill the Mechanic as well and kill all 3 survivors. They got really greedy for a 3 survivor escape there. They don't have to do that. They should have just split the exit gates. It's so much safer. It almost backfired, but they were just able to pull it out here. And yeah, At1S is able to win here 5-3 for the score for this round. They are taking their first victory.
Yeah, At1S. Again, shout outs to you guys. You guys were kind of the underdogs coming into this predictions phase, but man, they did that pretty well, and it just shows, yes, they were a little bit greedy. They wanted more out of the game, but I have a feeling that's they wanted to show what they are capable of. They're kind of an all or nothing. That's what I got with this match. And the mechanic got 2 tram hits. That's something I want to definitely highlight. The second hit was definitely just kind for fun already. I feel like it was a non-factor, but for them to start off the match so badly and for them to recover in that way, to utilize the tram, move on over to the graveyard, and for the mechanic to have a really long kite, very impressive. And for Reefer Nun, a really known hunter on the side of in Southeast Asia, for them to be able to just get a tie from him is definitely a big statement on itself. So congratulations to @1S.
Yeah, absolutely. They will be winning here, and yeah, just excellent gameplay. I mean, again, considering the position, the Dream Witch could have potentially tried to kill the bot as well. Typically, when you spawn right next to the mechanic as Dream Witch, you're able to kill the bot because they're not able to hide it. But he was able to keep that bot, keep the bot hidden. Dream Witch didn't see it. Immediate spawn follower hit is never ideal, but you know, the Dream Witch got the portal setup, allowing the mechanic to get to the backup graveyard, preventing the main body from even using Patroller because they were so far away because of that long portal, and then forcing a leech hit with bot in play. That's all you have to do to get a draw. And it was still a winning position, but ultimately ended in a draw, dying away from all Cypher machines. Was exactly what the mechanic needed to do. That's exactly what happened. And they, @1S, able to... probably could have won that game, but they just got the bare minimum, which was the draw there.
All right, so that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to recap the teams that did get points here. Shout outs to Noir. They did win their match against ZC. Shout outs to TGS. They did win over PD since PD did have technical difficulties. Have Fun has definitely had a clutch game, and now it's @1S getting the victory here. But again, tomorrow, guys, it's going to be Saturday. It's going to start at 12 noon GMT +8. We're going to start out with A versus NM, Omez versus Little Dragons. That's SCT, that's Scouts versus GL, ZT versus Icon. And then that's the first half. Then at 4 p.m. GMT +8, it's going to be ZC versus A, PD versus Omez, HF versus SCT, and GT versus ZT. So definitely not a day to miss. That's tomorrow. Eli, thank you so much for joining us. Any last words before we close out the show?
Yeah, excellent day today. Very exciting. I will be back on Sunday, I believe.
Yes.
So, yeah, make sure you guys come back, watch the matches tomorrow. We got a lot of IVA still ahead of us, and let's see who will come out on top.
All right, with that being said, thank you guys so much. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the group stage day 2 of IVA May. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Waking up through the darkness, I can see the sun. Leaving behind what I have done, future's already begun. Can somebody save me from the past and take the
its steam dense as a veil, and wine sweet as honey. One can't help but relax at the hot spring. Return to basics. Surrender restraints. Relinquish thyself. Like the eagle plummeting straight down, lusting for lambs, hating all lamb souls. Bathed in the spring, we drink. We worship. We indulge. Scales, venom gland, and the vomeral nasal organ. Reptiles' delicate biology is engraved with the mysteries of evolution. Researching them feels like listening to hymns of heaven and tracing the steps left by the Creator. But the end